Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mugen Lord here. Welcome to what's this? Episode 4 uh podcast from Mugen TV. I guess you would say that the last stream that we had, which was supposed to be a real talk, or I guess you would say a traditional chill stream, but for some strange reason, man, we end up getting into a lot of good topics and it ended up turning into a Mugen TV episode. So I counted that as a Mugen TV episode. So when you go into the live tab, you'll see that I changed the thumbnail and changed the title to Mugen TV episode 3. So this is episode 4. We'll be covering a couple of things because there's a lot of announcements and stuff. So I'm gonna get into the chat to see who's in here. We got Life. Life will change. What's up, Life? What's up, Guardian? What's up, Spectral? What's up, Neo? What's up, Vitzo? What's up, Yannico? What's up, Cole? Can y'all hear me clearly? Just want to make sure. What's up, Neo? What's up, Ventilator? Oh, what's up, Akira? Yeah, so I'm gonna just wait. We gonna just wait a little bit, to see, how many more people come in before we actually start talking about things and stuff like topics or whatever. That's good. Everybody's doing good. I'm waiting for my food to get here too. I ordered a salad from SolidWorks. It's a little on the low side. Well, that's probably because I'm not that close, to the because everything's maxed out. So I'll probably have to raise the volume. Can you hear me? Oh, what's up, Dream Fighter? What's up, Doodles? What up? I have 5 big releases in less than 30 days. Oh wow, yeah. It's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, the Nintendo Direct asked me too. Yeah. What's up, Rocky? Yeah, the Nintendo, like as far as content is concerned, guys, like I said before, if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted like a couple hours ago saying that there's a lot of you guys who want me to talk about the whole Black Myth Wukong situation with Sweet Baby Inc. and IGN and stuff like that. I haven't forgotten about that. And there's a couple other things y'all guys want me to cover, but I'm getting swamped right now. I'm drowning with content. I can't even keep up because, like I said, man, it's hard trying to be a YouTuber, a 3D hentai animator for the hentai community, and then also being a comic book writer, working on my comic book company and stuff like that, and releasing my first comic book series, and then of course being a full-time single father or whatever. It's just so much going on, and it's hard to like try to juggle everything. And then it seems like it's not enough time. It's like it's not enough time in a day to try to do everything. So for the next, I guess you say, week or two, it's going to be just me. To a lot of people, it might be old content, but for me, I still haven't even talked about a lot of the Xbox Direct stuff. Of course, then also got slapped with the Nintendo Direct and the stuff that I found interesting from the Direct. So that's content right there, and made into separate videos as well that I want to discuss. And then Marvel vs. Capcom, which I just released that video earlier today. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on that I just can't keep up with it. You know. What's up, Obi? What's up, Derp? Yeah. We gonna talk about the Dragon Quest. We gonna talk about the Fantasia and stuff. He said need to invent a hyperbolic time chamber on my to-do list. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Hyrule Legends? What's going on? Thanks. What's up, PJ? It said, who the fuck said that shit? Yeah, so we'll be covering and Romancing Saga. Yeah, I'll be talking about that. That's actually going to be a video to itself where I'm talking about all the RPGs that I have interest in. But we'll get into it here as well and everything. So don't worry about that. He said, Marvel vs. Capcom is finally back. I was crying. Yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff that we want to talk about here and we want to cover. So I guess we got a good size that's here. So I guess we'll start talking about a couple of topics. I want to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom, the announcement of the Fighting Collection, which I made a video about. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the whole Zelda spin-off game, and also I want to talk about the situation that I posted where people's calling it woke or calling it a girl boss game for some strange reason. So we'll talk about that as for all in one thing with the Zelda. I also want to talk about the Fantasia, which we talked, which is the RPG by Miss Walker, as well, and we won't get into it. We definitely won't get into it. So you said Marvel Collection and Marvel, yeah, I know, man. So yeah, so first, I guess we'll talk about Marvel vs. Capcom first. We'll get that out of the way because I want to talk about that just for a little bit, because I did post on my Twitter. Like I said, you need to check out my Twitter. That's where a lot of the controversy and a lot of the, I guess you say, culture war battles take place, and everything is on my Twitter page. Like, my Twitter page be like lit as fuck. Like, everybody is just on there, especially when I post my topics, and everybody just go to the topic and everybody voice their opinions. I mean, people who I don't even know, people from the other side of the culture war comes into it, into my feed, and people have discussions, people argue and stuff like that. So if you want to stay up to date with a lot of things, or want to know what I'm talking about or whatever like that, you definitely need to go check out my Twitter and follow me there, because most of my content comes from my Twitter. Like whatever things I talk about or whatever, I end up turning it into a video. Why not making it into a video for people who are more so into the YouTube side rather than the Twitter side and everything? And plus, a lot of you guys, of course, have also would DM me or tag me into some articles or whatever, culture war, or even not even just culture war, just gaming in general. They just want me to see, especially with indie games and stuff like that. And I really appreciate that. And I always try my best to try to credit everybody, because so many of you guys is always hitting me up and everything. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Marvel real quick, because I definitely talked about it in the video. Where if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I asked a question to you guys: were we responsible for freeing Marvel vs. Capcom? And that's the question that I asked you guys in the video, and I'm gonna ask you guys here. Is because what really made me really want to talk about this, and I brought up this question, was for the simple fact is that I was caught off guard during Nintendo Direct. I wasn't expecting it to be announced, of all places. Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection, of all places. I was not expecting it to be announced at a Nintendo Direct. Who would have saw that coming? But when the moment I saw that Capcom logo and everything, and it said, we're gonna take you for a ride, that Capcom's gonna take us for a ride, I just knew right then and there. I said, oh shit. Now, I thought it was just gonna be Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was not expecting the collection, but yeah, we got a collection. And as I said before, this means a lot. This is a really a big deal. Now, casuals may not see it as a big deal. They say, oh, just another collection, I get to buy it and everything like that. But no, this is a big deal, man. Like, you don't understand how hard it is when dealing with Marvel, when it comes to signing off on whether or not to be able to release any games that have any of their IP that's in it. And people tend to forget that it's Marvel vs. Capcom. People assume that since Capcom made the game, that they can just put Marvel vs. Capcom out there. I'm talking about people who's not in the know. People who are more like casual on the business aspect of gaming. They just assume that, hey, if, Capcom released this, that they're in charge of all this. No, even though Capcom characters is in Marvel vs. Capcom in the Versus series, Marvel's really has most of the say, because it's their IP, and Marvel's a bitch to work with. So, after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and that game really, bombed really bad, and a lot of fans were disappointed in it and everything. Many people thought it was writing on the wall for this series altogether, and people didn't think that this was going to make a big comeback or return at all. But here we are. We fast forward and we looking right now that, man, we got Marvel vs. Capcom a fighting collection and everything. And this is such a big deal for the fact that we didn't get just Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We got every Marvel versus game within the Versus series back in the 90s era, like the 2D sprite era. And that's the thing. And looking at this right here, this wallpaper, just it has so many things in here that just hit that nostalgia factor, especially with Ryu and Cyclops. they brewing it up, a bro shake, you know what I'm saying? And you got to remember that this was like an X-Men versus Street Fighter when they did this before, and now they updated it. And you look at everybody in this brand new art style, which I think is cool. Got my girl Psylocke right next to Chun-Li. I like her, how her design is. Everybody look dope, even down to Storm and Wolverine and everybody, which is really, really cool. Now, the thing is, to me, what makes this even more a big deal is the fact is that they added extra features that many people wasn't really expecting. Like I said before, like a training mode. I think that's pretty awesome because, before the other fighting game collection came out that I reviewed, the Capcom Fighters collection, the other collections that they had, like the Street Fighter anniversaries and stuff, a lot of them didn't even have the training modes. You really couldn't train. You had to just play the game like you played traditionally in the arcade and stuff. So you really couldn't figure out anything. But they went the extra mile with this. But now in the training mode, you actually got hurt boxes and hit boxes. That changes the whole thing. That really does. That changes the whole look and the whole dynamic of Marvel vs. Capcom moving forward. Is that they really took the time and effort to do that when they didn't have to do that. They could have just slapped it on, add a few bells and whistles, and just gave it to you guys, and your guys would just ate it up regardless. But right here, they decided to add that extra step to it. So I can also see the fact is that this fighting collection can be the new way to play this game, especially locally in the FGC tournaments and everything like that. This pretty much essentially revived Marvel vs. Capcom. Now, the reason why that I really wanted to bring up discussion to ask you this question, did we really save it, is because Marvel vs. Capcom has been buried for so long, and many people wanted to return. And then, of course, you had Maximilian. He's one of the bigger YouTubers is out there, and more specifically when it comes to fighting games and everything. He had pretty much was the proponent that pushed the hashtag Free Marvel vs. Capcom, and this was something that has been pushed for quite some time. Was it like 2021 or 2020 around that time or whatever like that? And people really wanted to see Marvel vs. Capcom make its return, especially after Infinite. And now that this is out, many people are celebrating, and many people are retweeting Maximilian, posting videos about Maximilian, thanking Maximilian, and things like that. And even in Max's videos, he believes that that this movement have done something to bring Marvel vs. Capcom out today. And I asked the question, did we really? And the reason why I say that, and I'm not trying to, this not taking a stab at Maximilian, and like I said in my video, that I highly respect this dude. Like, he has done a lot for the fighting game landscape for casuals that introduce a lot of people to fighting games. So like I said, I respect this content, but can we really take credit for that? And can he really take the credit for this hashtag movement, Free Marvel vs. Capcom? And the reason why I raised this is because it was something that I just posted not too long ago, like actually like an hour or two ago or something, where I said you really have to think about this. I said, remember, X-Men 97 just dropped, which is on the Disney Plus, which was the return of the X-Men animated cartoon. And then I said, and Deadpool 3 featuring Wolverine is just around the corner. The announcement of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection just so happens to fall in line with these upcoming Disney projects that are X-Men related. And I said, I think it had little to do with us as a community to have Marvel free Marvel vs. Capcom with this collection. I really seriously do. I really believe that we had really no impact on this at all. Like, Marvel only cares about himself and how they can make money. And why I say that I think we have little impact is because when you look at Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite in this roster, you can tell that they were like out of touch with reality of what the community want as far as characters. They was more so thinking about how can they push their upcoming MCU projects, and you can tell by that roster. And then you gotta remember, Fox still owned the rights to the X-Men characters, so we had no X-Men characters in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because these guys are thinking more so on the marketing aspect for their Hollywood projects and everything. So they didn't give a fuck about us. So this release right now, I don't think we had any input on this or had any impact on this. Because you gotta remember, these deals always happen in the background, and some of this stuff can extend and last for years. And it's all about strategic planning and when to release this. And you have to also understand that Marvel and Disney has a big campaign for X-Men right about now. They're really trying to push X-Men because X-Men is going to be coming to the MCU. And what better way to do that is by releasing the X-Men 97 cartoon series. And then you have the Deadpool movie, which also has Wolverine. So I think we can expect some X-Men characters or X-Men X characters in the Deadpool 3 film. So what better way to get people more familiar with X-Men characters and Marvel characters within the X-Men universe than also release this collection. So I think it had little to do with the Maximilian free Marvel and everything. Because if that's the case, they could have released this a very long time ago. They could have released it. Why they wait till all these years and now we got a bunch of X-Men projects coming up and then now they put this big ass collection out. And like I said, the collection, most of it is X-Men related. You got to remember, it's X-Men Children of Adams. We have Marvel Superheroes, which has some X-Men characters in it. And then we have X-Men versus Street Fighter. Then we have Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. And then we got the Marvel vs. Capcom's 1 and 2, which has a lot. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2, especially Part 2, is full of X-Men characters that's in it. Or whatever like that. So I really think that we have a little bit to do with that. So let's start this motherfucker. Let me just check the chats real quick. Yo, what's up, Laura Blaze? I'll get to the chat in a second. I want to make sure I get everything out. So every time we finish a topic, and then I'll go to the chats and then read it off and then talk. But you gotta understand, like, I wouldn't say we can take full credit for this. Maybe some influence, like meaning that it made them more confident because we really want this. But they was going to put this out regardless. And then, as I said before, a lot of people don't keep up with Disney and what they've been doing. Disney been starting this initiative to where they want to really penetrate the gaming genre, the gaming industry as a whole. And if you remember, the Disney had their own Skylanders type of game that they had. Because a couple years ago, Disney started bringing back all their IPs in-house, and they had a video game studio, a Disney gaming studio, where they wanted to start making a lot of their video games in-house, and they lost a lot of money, especially with the Disney, what's it called? Disney Connect? What was it called? What was the name of that thing? My dad liked it because he got all the Star Wars. He wanted to collect all the Star Wars, and he was in Marvel characters for it and everything. But that Disney Skylander type game or whatever like that, they really wanted to push that. They wanted to actually penetrate gaming themselves. But once they lost all that fucking money, they decided they had to close down the studio or just pretty much put it like on like a hiatus, and they had to really reassess and their strategies of how they approach it. And then all of a sudden they came up with a new initiative to where they said, you know what, let's go back to doing what the original plan, what we did a long time ago. Let's start leasing out our IPs once again to developers who are more capable than us to be able to manage this or whatever. And that's what they've been doing for the past couple years. You know, they've been doing that. They've been putting out the IPs. They've been licensing it out, making sure other companies. That's why you start seeing a lot of Marvel mobile games. You also seen the card game, which is the Midnight Suns, which I also got on the PC. I gotta get back to playing that as well and do a review on that. And now you seen the more recent one, the Marvel Rivals. The Marvel Rivals is the newest in the wait 1 second, guys. Are you serious? All right, whatever. 1 second. Let me take this back. Yeah, I had got a message. 1 second. Interrupted everything. And this is important. Okay, I guess I have to cancel that. One sec. I guess I have to go here. Yeah, so you also have to remember, Disney had an initiative, and their initiative was to push themselves and penetrate gaming. So now they went back to leasing out. So you gotta remember Marvel Rivals, which is the new hero shooter with Marvel characters. It's literally an Overwatch clone. I want to play the fuck out of it. I love the character designs to that shit. That shit looks dope. I want to play it. And then they just recently did an announcement. Was it during the Xbox? Was it Xbox or PlayStation State of Play? As one of them, they did the announcement revealing that Rivals is also coming to consoles, because we didn't know at the time, because around this time it was only revealed that it was coming to PC. So now you got that licensed out. So now you got a hero shooter Marvel game. So this is why I'm saying that we really free it? Did we really influence it when you have a bunch of initiatives that Disney and Marvel has been planning for some time now? And like I said, all they care about is their projects. They want us to be able to maximize the profits and put more eyes on upcoming projects. And what better to get people excited and hype for X-Men than to have X-Men 97 and also Deadpool, and then release in between these releases the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. What better way? What better way to do that? So, oh, really? I didn't know that. So we have to wait for that. So yeah, so what better way to do that than to release that? Now, the other thing, which I want to talk about for a second too, because somebody had raised it actually a good point. Now, you also have my Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet. And there was a video where P-Dubs, he's part of the Arcade 1-Up community, he was also talking about, did Capcom literally kill the Marvel vs. Capcom arcade cabinet right here with the release of the Marvel vs. Capcom, or the announcement of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection that they have here. Because license-wise, I know you can play Marvel vs. Capcom in the Versus series on Fightcade, but you gotta also remember, see, a lot of you guys in the chats are hardcore gamers, so y'all know about emulators, you know about Fightcade, y'all know about all these things, but that casual gamer don't know shit about that. So most people don't even know that there's other ways to have access to these games and whatever like that. So now, the Arcade 1-Up was the only one at the time who had an actual legit licensed version of Marvel vs. Capcom. So if you was a Marvel vs. Capcom fiend and really wanted Marvel vs. Capcom, you would go out and buy this machine. Now, I will tell you right now, I haven't done a review for this. The machine is okay. If you're a person who just want to have it because you're a fan and it looks good in your setup, then buy it. I treat this like, the only time I get on this is when my videos are rendering and I want to kill time, I hop on it. Also, when I'm thinking about story elements for my comic book and I'm just brainstorming, I hop on it and play it or whatever like that. But other than that, I bought it more so for the fact is that it just makes my room look good. I treat it more like furniture than anything or whatever. But as I said before, people will go to this because this is the only way to have access license-wise, legitimately, to be able to play these. Now that they announced this or whatever like that, what the fuck happens to this? And P-Dubs had a good, valid point. It's because everything that's in this collection, my cabinet has. My cabinet has all those games, except for the Punisher. The other cabinet has the Punisher. But it has all the games. It has every last games, and this has online play as well. But the only problem is the collection, you not only get the Punisher and everything, you also got better netcode, because this don't even have rollback. This doesn't have rollback at all, and the online is really not that great unless you connect it. You hardwire it, you connect it wirelessly, and then, like I said, the distance still matter. So the online is not really that great. It was hard getting actual good matches without crazy ass lag or whatever like that. So now you got a better version, and it's a licensed version where you're able to play online, got rollback, and plus there's no training mode for this cabinet. There's no training mode in any of these games at all. There's no hitbox, hurtbox detections and reveals within the training mode or anything like that. So that has none of that. So now, what would you choose? And it's cheaper. This is like what, $600 I paid or $700 what I paid? I can't remember. I think it's like $500-600 I think, or whatever. So why would you pay $500-600 when you can just? And plus, I had to mod and put hapsticks and samba buttons on this, which also raised the price of this or whatever like that. And then I had to mod it in order to get the arcade experience that I want, since the factory stock buttons and the sticks was trash, complete ass, or whatever. So with that being said, did they kill this? Did they kill this cabinet? Like in my personal opinion, I think they did. Like, there's really no reason, if you was looking to like really wanted to play, like play this, and you knew nothing about Fightcade or anything like that, and you saw this online, and then Capcom made the announcement, you want to weigh those options, especially with the economy, Bidenomics and shit like that. You like you want to pick the cheapest one, you know. And what I also want to say about this before we move on to the next topic or whatever, it's important that you support this. It's very important that you support this, because this is really a test to see where we're going to go moving forward with the Marvel vs. Capcom series. And also, there's going to be a physical release. Now, I've seen people pass it around that they showed the Switch box, Nintendo Switch box. I'm not sure if there's a PS5 or PS4 or whatever casing for this or not, physical release for this or not. But it's very important. And if there is a physical release, I gotta buy it. I gotta have it. It gotta be part of my collection and everything. Like this is monumental. Like no one saw this coming at all. Like no one did. So it's very important that we actually go out and support this, so we also can show them that, yo, like, yeah, man, come on, give us a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 and give us more Marvel vs. Capcom games moving forward in the near future. And then, of course, address the elephant in the room. There was no Xbox release or announcement at all, and Xbox is also losing out on this, and it's really sad. I know the Xbox fans are really bummed out. You also see in the console war space that the Sony fanboys is eating that up right now. That the Xbox fanboys is not able to be able to get a chance to actually play this. I just think this is also a missed opportunity for Xbox fans. You know, you want to get this in many hands as possible, but I think we will save that for another discussion about Xbox Game Pass and all those things and why they're in the current state that they're in. So we'll definitely talk about that. So we're finished this topic as far as Marvel versus Capcom is concerned. So I'm going to look at some of the stuff that we have here in the chat. We got Jackson. What's up, Jackson? What's going on? What's up, Boyo? What's up? What's going on? We have L Monster. We have Anime Core 85. We got Landon in the house and everything. Landon said, "Do you think we'll get an SNK versus Capcom collection shortly after?" I wouldn't say shortly. I believe we'll probably get one, but I wouldn't say shortly, because that would be cannibalism. That would be cannibalism. Let Marvel vs. Capcom breathe first with that collection. If anything, if we do get a Capcom versus SNK collection, we'll probably get it next. I'm just saying. I'm just giving my thoughts. If I was a betting man, or if I was Capcom, I would release that next Evo or something like that, or make that announcement, or around the time that, you know, Mai and Terry Bogard becomes, you know, available for the for Street Fighter 6 season, or when Mark of the Wolves around the window when Mark of the Wolves release or something like that. I believe that would be the perfect time to make that announcement to show that. But I think in order for Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection to thrive, it wouldn't make sense to just right after that announce Capcom versus SNK. That makes no sense. That is literally that's Capcom doing market cannibalism. They're fucking themselves over if they go out their way to make such a move like that. That would be the stupidest business strategy ever. I mean, come on. We got examples of Square Enix, especially 2 years ago, man. They was destroying a lot of their games. You know, like remember, back to back, you had Alive remake, and then you had what was it, Valkyrie Elysium, and then you had Star Ocean. You had Star Ocean and Divine Force. You had all these Square games coming out back to back. They were like it was just like how and DioField Chronicles as well. You had all these games that was a month apart, and some of them like 3 weeks apart from each other. And that destroyed their sales. And then they was wondering why these games didn't sell, because you can't throw all those games out like back to back or so close together. Gamers don't have the money like that. Game is no longer a hobby. It's now a luxury, and gamers can't afford to buy all those games in one setting. Luckily, I'm blessed enough to have the money to be able to afford to buy every game that comes out. But not every gamer has that. They have to make a choice and make a decision which game they're going to play and how long they're going to play that game before they're able to afford or be able to buy the next game. So yeah, I don't think a Capcom vs. SNK collection would be the smartest thing to do and release right after they just made an announcement for Marvel vs. Capcom. So let's see, we have Desley Crow. SNK game should be there before the DLC. Let's see. We got who else we got? Hyrule Legend. Forgot to mention. I love your OC art of yourself on the thumbnail. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I had that done. I had that done years ago. By another artist. I hardly use it. I keep forgetting I have an anime avatar of myself. And everything. I forgot all about it. And then what made me start using it again was because I happened to click on my Mugen Lord material folder in my whatever, and I just saw it and it just reminded me, so, oh shit, I got an anime avatar. So I decided to put that in there to go with everything and stuff. And then say, Sly Crow. Okay, I got you. The Sly Crow. Got you. It says, Anime Core says, typical gamer won't pay $70 every single time a new game release unless he is a millionaire. Yeah, and like I said, luckily I'm blessed that I'm able to pay $70 every time a game come out. Luckily I'm blessed to do that or whatever, but not everybody can do that and everything. Yeah, Derpy's right. CVS collection would be overkill. It definitely would be. They would destroy. It would destroy any momentum that Marvel vs. Capcom have. It would destroy any momentum. I think when the CVS collection come out, it has to be its own release by itself. Then nothing else is surrounded by it, so they have enough time for it to breathe, and they'll build awareness, and hopefully we get a CVS 3. That's what I'm hoping for as well. So I think that'd be pretty cool. Will we ever see a new Darkstalkers? I don't know, man. It just depends. I think if we do see a new Darkstalkers, they would have to start with a smaller project, a lower budget. It won't be a AAA budget. It'll be a lower budget. Some people may not like that, but those games are risks. Like, people love Darkstalkers, but you got to remember that Darkstalkers is so fucking niche. It's a niche within a niche that no one is gonna know what the fuck that is. No one's not gonna know what it is. So in order for us to see a new Darkstalkers, Capcom would have to start from the very bottom. Start with a lower budget. Start with a smaller budget, a smaller size roster, and everything. And they gotta put that out there. If they do it with a smaller budget to see what it's like and see how fans receives it and stuff, then they can up the budget to wherever they want to up it to. But coming straight out the gate with it, and to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like fucking Darkstalkers. Like that was one of my least favorite Darkstalker games. The only person I liked from it was Felicia and Morgan. I didn't give a fuck about any of the other characters. I wasn't into the creatures and monsters and fighting games. I just was not into it or whatever. So it was one of those games that I highly ignored. It's just that Capcom did a good job marketing Morgan. That's the only reason why I have an association or a connection to Darkstalkers, because they've done a good job. She's like the poster chick for the series. Like even though we haven't had any Darkstalker games, Morgan cameoed in so many damn crossovers. You would think that Darkstalkers was still a thing. Like it's still alive and well and doing really good, but it's not. So they really pushed emphasis on Morgan more than anything. But honestly, I don't really give a shit about Darkstalkers. I was never really a fan of Darkstalkers or whatever like that. So I'm just familiar with the characters because I grew up in that area, and I remember in the arcades people played them. My cousin, I was introduced to it on PlayStation because my cousin bought the game, and even then I didn't care for it. I wasn't into the Frankenstein, the mummy looking characters, the werewolf looking characters. Like I'm not really into monsters, period. When it comes to like my entertainment and stuff. So making a fighting game based around creatures and monsters and stuff, I didn't care for it. You know? A full collection of Neo Geo Pocket Color. Yeah. Like Lord Blade says, Darkstalkers would have to reboot. It would have to reboot. SNK already led the charge with the few releases to SNK. Yeah. But the thing is, they first did it on the Switch. Yeah, so that's with that. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, which I want to talk about, is the Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda spinoff that Zelda's having. She's finally leading into her own game, which is something that I'm excited for. I think they've done a good job with Peach, Showtime game that I bought from my daughter, and I also have it as well. Wait 1 second, hold up. Okay, please spell that. Yes. That's my daughter's job. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So the Zelda game and the spinoff is something that I'm like excited for. I'm really looking forward to it. So I wouldn't say that there's controversy. I think this is fake controversy or whatever like that. But this really ticked me off in a sense, which we'll get into this, is because I seen the trailer. I enjoyed the trailer of the Zelda game, spin-off game, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play. Like, the thing is, I got Zelda DX, Zelda Link's Awakening remake. I still haven't opened it yet. I bought it at launch and still haven't opened it. So I'm going to play that game before I jump into this. So I'm playing that pretty soon or whatever before I jump into it. But still in the plastic and everything. But now I'm adding it more. Now it's part of my collection. Like, this is pretty dope. This is its own universe, and I think it's pretty interesting. But what really pissed me off is that we had some fake outrage going on when it came to the whole Zelda spinoff, because we had this one comic book YouTuber, indie comic book YouTuber named John Della Rose. Now, I watched his content at some point or whatever like that, but I just stopped watching his content over time. He's one of those indie comic people that, that fights against the woke. So he's more like anti-woke, which you can say I'm anti-woke as well. But after a while, I just stopped watching his content. I think, there's a lot of shilling going on as well that kind of turned me off and stuff like that. But this was the post that really ticked me off. And I'm glad that there was people in the comment sections of this video of his that disagreed with him. Because if you look at the title of the video, because I clicked on the video to hear him out, and he was completely wrong. He said Nintendo full girl boss Zelda exposed as employees push DEI in video games. Now, when I watched the trailer and seen the gameplay, it's cute as fuck. This is the cutest Zelda game I've ever seen. This game is fucking adorable. And then she uses her wisdom, she uses her magic and everything, and to be able to create and take objects and use those objects as weapons. So she's not a warrior like Link. So she has to use the environment. She has to use objects to help her fight. And she's a princess of her kingdom. People look up to her because she rules over Hyrule or whatever. And she's also shown that she has capabilities. In fact, that's why Ganon keep going after her ass, because she's powerful as fuck. When you allow her to cook, Zelda cooks. You also got to remember, in Breath of the Wild, there wouldn't be no Breath of the Wild. There wouldn't be no Hyrule if Zelda didn't come in to save Link, because Link was near death. And her wisdom, Triforce ability, unleashed and awakened, and it allowed her to save Link. Enough time for Link to be able to be taken away so he can go sleep and regenerate his energy. And she went and held off Ganon for what, 100 or 200 years? She held him off for that long, waiting for Link to wake up to be able to finish his job. So yes, like Zelda is a capable female character, and I don't see what the issue is by allowing her to have her own solo game. So I said it in the post right here. What the fuck? How is the new Zelda spinoff a girl boss game? Fans for decades were asking for a Zelda spinoff game, and even I wanted it. Peach has a solo game, and it's pretty damn good. Zelda is allowed to have her own game. It's about time I make a video about a lot of this culture war stuff. And this is what makes me want to talk more about this culture war aspect that's really getting on my nerves at this point. I said it's about time I make a new video about a lot of this culture war stuff. Some people think of me as part of the anti-woke side of the culture war, and you would be correct. But I also call out bullshit on my side as well. Both sides are annoying the shit out of me at this point. No one cares about nuance or try to approach each case with a level head. Everything is black and white to them. You are either in or you are out. So many tourists in this space on both sides who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about and just grifting whenever they can. And in the case of John Della Rose, man, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. What the hell is he talking about? There's no sign of girl boss in any of this. This is the most adorable Zelda game I've ever seen. And she's unique. She has her own unique gameplay separate from Link. She's doing her own thing, which, like I said, Link is courage and she's wisdom. They have two different type of play styles, two different methodologies to approach combat and everything, and exploration and puzzle solving, which I think is actually really good. Link is hands-on. Zelda is more thought-provoking, like, and how she has to maneuver and navigate throughout Hyrule, which I think is also pretty cool. But this is the thing that annoys me. It's like now, and I understand. I know a lot of people in the comment section is going to probably say that you got to understand people's reactionary because it's people are getting tired, people are getting frustrated, and I understand that. But I'm just as frustrated as the rest of you guys too. But I also have sense enough to not be reactionary and actually look at everything case by case and look at all the details before I just draw the conclusion that something is girl balls or something that is extremely woke. And then, as I said before, you got some people, well, the timing of it. We in this era of, every female main character is oversaturated in the market. And I'm like, yo, we're missing the plot here. What does it matter if we're getting a lot of female characters, especially if the female character is a well-written female character, aesthetically pleasing on the eyes, as well as when it comes to the design, and the gameplay is good and the storyline is good. So what does it matter if we get more female characters? And in this sense, Zelda's already an established female character. She's allowed to have her own game. Peach is already an established character. And then, of course, we have Samus with the newly announced Metroid Prime 4 as well. These are established characters and everything. And then we had somebody else also mention that, I'm getting tired of this. I don't like always playing as female characters, which I also have this person in the comment section below, in the tweet. It's so many people commenting, so I gotta find it. But I'll save it. I'll actually go deeper. I'll go do a deeper dive and actually have the text itself when I actually do a video about it or whatever. But we're starting to lose the plot here because now we start getting to the point where we're not wanting female characters in general, and that was never the point of this whole argument. Our whole argument was that, hey, as long as they're well written, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm all up for playing as a female character. But now we get to the point is where we're getting too many female characters, or I don't want to play as a female character all the time or whatever like that, and this, that, and the third. Like, we starting to forget that. Like I thought it was about the gameplay. I thought it was about that her being well written is all that matters. But now we're talking like we don't want them at all, And then the person also went on to say that we're seeing an increase in male and female characters, but we're starting to see a decline of male leads. And I'm saying that's not true as well. I said, when you think about what's going on within the gaming industry, when you think about a lot of the female leads that we've seen today, most of them is not even coming from AAA. Most of them is coming from indie companies and AA companies. If you look at a lot of these developer directs, when you see a lot of these female leads, most of them are not even coming from high-profile companies at all. Most of them are coming from indie companies and AA companies. And that's another thing I want to talk about when it comes to the indie space as well. Indie space is not safe from wokeness either. You know what I'm saying? But as I said before, most of these female leads that we're seeing, most people won't even know who they are because it's in the indie space, and most people don't give a shit about indie most of the time, which is also sad because there are some good indie games in the indie space, but most people don't give a shit about indie. Most people focus on the mainstream, and we don't really have a lot of mainstream, main lead females, right now in this current generation that you will recognize and know who they are and stuff like that. So we still have our male leads. The problem is what's going on with our male leads is that they're being overshadowed by the supporting female character or whatever like that in their own game. Or we also have our male leads, but most of this generation is filled of remakes, remasters, and sequels. That's all we're getting. So a lot of because our developers today, like with these inflated gaming budgets right now, they're sticking to what works, or they sticking to franchise that they know people will play and buy. And that's why they're doing more remakes and remasters and also sequel to games that have male leads, because they know that, okay, we can still guarantee to get sales from this, but when we do this over here, we're taking a risk doing this. So they're trying to balance this out. But when it comes to female leads that's recognizable in this current generation, you got Aloy and you got Ellie, and then you got Eve from Stellar Blade. You know what I'm saying? So we don't. So it's not. So they're not overshadowing the male like, as far as leads are concerned in games. When you got, like I said, the indie space that's doing most of female lead games. But when it comes to like the high profile games, we really don't have a lot of it. We only really have Aloy, Ellie, and now Eve from Stellar Blade. So yeah, so as you say, welcome to the chat too, and welcome Talcum as well, and Johnny Kakashi and Boss Brown. But yeah, so we really don't have a lot of female leads in the out in the open. You know, if you get what I'm saying or whatever like that. We only have 3 real recognizable ones in this current era right now, which, like I said, Ellie, Aloy, and now Eve. And then the person going on to say is that, I don't, like, just because, he sees it because of the timing of putting it out here, they think this is for the DEI or Nintendo taking advantage of this whole era of female leads. That's why they wanted to do this. And I said, then you can apply the same logic to Stellar Blade. Like you would have to, you can't criticize this, and then now all of a sudden Stellar Blade doesn't count because it ticks all the right boxes for you. But you can say the same thing about Eve. You would have to clump her in there with everything else within this whole new woke era, DEI era, as well, as far as female leads are concerned. You can't just exclude her from this whole argument at the timing of all this. No, everything like think about it, like even when it comes to Stellar Blade been in the works for years, and the same thing with Zelda. This Zelda spinoff, you gotta understand. I'm a Zelda fan. I've been following Zelda, and Zelda was my first game I ever played. Matter of fact, as my parents said, that my dad was playing the NES Zelda game while I was still in my mother's womb, and the theme song will play. And my dad said the moment I was born and I came out the womb, and when my mom and dad brought me home, and my dad popped in Zelda in the NES, Dad said the moment he booted up the system and the theme played for Legend of Zelda, my infant ass, my eyes wandered and went and looked in the direction to where that sound was coming from, because I was able to hear that sound in my mother's womb, the Legend of Zelda theme. So my mom and dad was just like, oh my God, like he recognizes it and stuff. My eyes are wandering around. That's why I have an attachment to the Zelda franchise as well. So the thing is, when it comes to these Zelda games are in development for fucking years. They like people are pretending that this Zelda game for some strange reason was just thought up last year and then they put the game out. No, this was in the works for a very long time. And if you look at the art style, it's going off the same engine as Link's Awakening. And Link's Awakening came out, 2019 probably? So I guarantee you that this game probably was in development even since then. You know what I'm saying? So they have strategies in how to plan to put these things out. So when it comes to these Zelda games, man, like, this takes time. So regardless of what the timing is, it doesn't matter if the timing just so happened to start putting these female characters out there around the woke era, DIE, and female lead era. It doesn't matter if the game is actually good, and if the female lead is actually aesthetically nice or whatever like that, and also if she's well written. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all. And I think we're losing the plot here. But I'll say that for its own video, where we'll actually get into more details and more examples. While I'm getting sick of both sides, and the anti-woke side is starting to get on my nerves because it's getting very extreme, or we starting to lose what our main objective and what our main goal is. But I definitely save that for later. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this Zelda game. I understand this may not be for a lot of people or whatever like that, but me being a Zelda fan, man, like this is something I always wanted, and I would love to see Zelda become playable in a lot more mainline Zelda games, where I always wanted a game where Zelda and Link are actually traveling together. You know what I'm saying? And you actually have to switch. You can switch between the two to solve puzzles, and even in combat and stuff. I would love to see a game that works like that, because I'm a big fan of Princess Zelda herself as well. I'm a big fan of Link himself. You know what I'm saying? The hero of time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this topic. I'm gonna read the comments in the comment sections. We'll see what you guys are saying or whatever. So let's see. We got Ludacris in there as well. Let's see. We're gonna scroll up. Make sure. Okay. So Landon says having a female lead doesn't make immediate woke. It's how it's handled that determines if it's woke or not. And He said Mugen Lord was a Link baby incarnated. Derpy stupid. But yeah, and Landon has a point, and I think we're losing the plot because now we're getting to the point, and I understand people are frustrated. I understand people are upset about what they're seeing here when it comes to the wokeness, DEI, and all this other stuff. But we can't keep jumping the gun. Or now every time we see a female, we just automatically assume, oh, it has to be woke, it has to be diversity. And the same thing when it comes to people of color and stuff like that. We can't don't jump the gun right away. Let's look at it case by case. Let's look at everything that's there, because now we're just getting to the point where we're just writing shit off, and then we see people like John Della Rose makes videos like this and completely fucking wrong. That's why we can't do this. We have to sit back, think about it, really put some thought into it to see if it all lines up. If it stacks up. If it stacks up, if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, then it's a fucking duck. And then go on with how you feel and stuff. But like this dude, that was like one of the biggest L's I've known from this guy, you know, since I watched his content for some time or whatever like that. I think he really dropped the ball with that video or whatever. So let's see. What's up, Ignorant? What's going on? You said, do you think that Dragon Age Veilguard will flop and force the studio to shut down because it looks really silly? I guess that's a good question. I seen the trailer once. The thing about the Dragon Guard thing is that like everybody look like they stepped out of Tumblr. That's what everybody look like. It's supposed to be a fantasy setting, but everybody looks so fucking modern, if you get what I'm saying. And everybody look like they stepped out of Tumblr. As far as the character designs are concerned. I never played the Dragon Age games or whatever like that, or whatever, so I really don't give two shits about that series. And I understand that people love that series or whatever. I think the thing that really pissed me off about Dragon Age is when I caught a sale a long time ago for Inquisition for Steam, and I think it was like $3, maybe $5. I said, alright, I wanted to get into it because people said Inquisition's a really good game, so I wanted to try it. I installed it off of Steam. But then they told me I needed to create an EA account or something like that in order to be able to play this fucking game. So then I'm like, shit. So I make the EA account. And then for some strange reason, like, ever since I installed the game, the game was locking my computer up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The game was literally, like Dragon Age Inquisition was literally locking my game up. And I'm like, what's causing my computer to lock up? Like, ever since I installed this fucking game and stuff like that. So I just uninstalled it and I was done with it. So I'm not going to even play it. Or whatever like that. So, but yeah. So as far as Dragon Age is concerned, that's why I didn't bother to cover it on my channel or anything, because I don't give two shits about it. I've seen the character designs, I've seen the direction they're trying to go with this, and I really don't care. It's not even worth a video for me. That's why I never made a video about it or whatever. Let's see. DRM on top of DRM for a game that isn't even yours. What a fucking joke. You think Netflix upcoming Tomb Raider will be faithful? No, it's not gonna be No, you know Tomb Raider for Netflix is not gonna be faithful. Like, we know this already. Look at all Tomb Raider and her fucking friends. They gave her friends. They gave her a bunch of people. You got a black chick with a metal leg and shit, I believe. You got it got all this dumb shit to it. I'm not gonna even waste my time. I'm not gonna even watch it. Same thing. I didn't even bother to watch that newer season of Castlevania. It's not gonna even get a watch from me. I'm not gonna even waste my time with it or whatever. What's up, Shadow? What's going on? What's going on, bro? Dragon Age look like Harry Potter now. Had faithful adaptation for the past 10 years. What's up, Matt? Yeah. So I'm not gonna even waste my time with that. All right. So the next thing we'll talk about. Said never femme fatale reduced to having daddy issues. It always boils down to that today. What's up, Junk? All right, so we're gonna talk about real quick. We're gonna talk about Metroid Prime 3, or whatever, because many people is going around saying this dumb shit about it. When Nintendo made it clear. All right, so I made a post about Metroid Prime 3 because we have Highland Hero. No, I had nothing against him. Or whoever this person is, but he was one of the examples that I'm pulling out of many examples of this same thing. This person asked, do you think the footage we saw of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was running on a Switch 2. The textures, etc., look way too good to be running on the current Switch. And this is what I said in my retweet, in my quote. I said, why do I keep seeing this? Nintendo clearly said that there will be no next-gen Nintendo console or gameplay reveals of any kind during the Direct. And Nintendo made this clear. It was during one of their their meetings that they have. What's up, Acumus Lab? And they pretty much said during their investor meeting that, and they also put a tweet out not too long ago saying that no, they do not expect any new hardware reveals or games. They said this, and they said this purposely to temper your expectations, because we're on the precipice of moving on to the next generation of Nintendo hardware. So a lot of people are scrounging around, a lot of people's hype, and a lot of people believe that this Direct, or whatever Direct is coming, is going to be the final Nintendo Switch Direct. And I think they're probably right that this was the last Direct for them to have. Any other Direct that they're going to have is going to probably be like a game Direct to like whatever game is releasing. They want to focus on that to get people excited for that game when it releases. But they made it clear to lower your expectations when they made that announcement, and yet you still have people believing that this was Switch 2 gameplay and visuals and stuff. Like this is how people get disappointed every fucking time. But even Nintendo even put it out there to lower expectations, and people are still drawing this fucking conclusion for some strange reason. But to continue, I said this is Retro Studio we are talking about here. This is not a massive open world game that requires a lot of sacrificing in terms of visuals, etc. You gotta understand, when it comes to Nintendo, even during the Nintendo Wii era, when Nintendo drops a first party game, you know that their first party game, like Mario Galaxy, looks really good compared to a lot of third party games that release on the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo always pull, because it's their console. They know the hardware better than anybody else. So they normally, when it comes to their first party games, they're normally the ones that's able to pull as much performance, visuals, and everything to represent their game. Because like I said, Mario Galaxy, you would thought that, you know, it had 360 graphics of that time, or PS3 graphics of how good Mario Galaxy looked, and it ran at 60 frames per second. That game looked fucking good. So, even when it comes to this, Retro Studio, even when they released the original Metroid Prime games on the Nintendo GameCube, Retro Studio made those games look really fucking good. So why can't we apply that same fucking logic when it comes to the Nintendo Switch with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond? Like, why can't we use that same logic? Like it's Retro Studio. These motherfuckers are good at pulling the most out of their fucking games and stuff. And now we got Metroid Prime 4. That's why I wasn't surprised when I saw Metroid Prime 4. I said, man, this looks good for outdated hardware such as the Nintendo Switch that they pulled this off. So if I was able to draw that conclusion, why can't anybody else draw that fucking conclusion when it comes to that? Yes, this is Switch hardware. If developers really put time, especially this game has been pushed back, they restarted development over again and stuff like that. So they had enough time to actually like really put a lot of time and effort into Metroid Prime 4. Now I would say this though, like I said in my in this tweet right here, Metroid Prime 4 may likely be cross-generation. So you can imagine how amazing the game will look on next-generation Nintendo hardware if the game already looks good with dated Switch hardware. So you gotta understand, I believe, in my personal opinion, that this is a cross-generation game. Meaning that whenever this game come out, it's going to come out around the same time as the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. Or the next Nintendo hardware, that next-gen hardware that comes out. Which means that gamers can go in and be able to choose, like, alright, if I get the next-gen hardware, I'll be able to play Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and I will get the better, more rich experience when it comes to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And that's what I believe this is going to be. I think this is going to be a Nintendo next gen Nintendo launch title, or around the launch window of the next Nintendo console. And they will make a killing. I think this definitely will push Nintendo Switch 2. I put in quotations. You know, for the launch. I think that will really sell sell this console. And I think it will really push consoles that you'll be able to, like, this will be like the first actual Metroid game, actually, if this is the case. As I said, this is just me theorizing right now. I'm not saying that this is fact. I just want people to get that straight. I'm not saying this is factual. I'm just giving my own theories and my own speculations. I think that this would actually be a good fucking idea to launch this, or put this around the launch window that people can expect this, and people have a reason to pick up a Nintendo Switch 2 in quotations and stuff like that for this. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think the game is actually, it looks really good. Metroid Prime is a good looking game. I have the Metroid Prime 1 remake as well on Nintendo Switch. I still haven't opened it yet. My brother Keel Lancer has the game as well, and I was watching him play it at one point. The game looks gorgeous. So if that game can look gorgeous, that they really up the fuck out of that game, why can't they do this to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond as well? And Metroid Prime, the things that I like about the game really put real strong emphasis on exploration rather than story. But I believe that we're going to definitely get some story bits, or some like really like narrative driven stuff this time, elements as well. And could we possibly get a talking Samus? I think that would probably be interesting as well. But as I said before, they put a lot of emphasis on the world itself, and you're being in the visor of Samus's helmet to be able to see this world as it is, especially in the Nintendo Switch hardware. I'm looking forward to it. And also, it has beautiful music. It has a lot of ambiance and soothing music to these worlds that they have crafted and stuff. And I don't think this is an open world. It doesn't have to be an open world. Just create great locations, great vistas, environments for people to explore, and give us the combat that we like in a Metroid Prime game. And I think we're going to have something beautiful here. But that's essentially it for the whole Metroid Prime 4 situation here. I just don't understand how people just came to this conclusion that this is somehow Nintendo Switch 2 hardware right here or whatever. But let's go to the comment sections or to the chat real quick and see what we have. Jackson says, what are your thoughts on World of Warcraft animated show revolving around... I don't care about World of Warcraft. I didn't even know there was an animated show coming. Don't give a shit about it. Next question. Nah, VR is a fad. It doesn't need to be for... No. No. I disagree with that. Metroid Prime would be a perfect VR experience. And Nintendo really need to capitalize on that. I will play the fuck out of Metroid Prime in VR. And and the reason why it seemed like a fad is because it's not catching on. Is because a lot of AAA studios are not taking advantage of it. What they need to do is they need to start releasing day and date a VR option with some of their games, like especially when they're first person perspective. That's what get people to adopt it. I think the reason why VR is not, because like I said, I got a MetaQuest 3, I got a MetaQuest 2, and a MetaQuest Rift. And I enjoy the hell out of VR. VR is actually a fun experience, but there's a lot of independent developers that's really taking advantage of the technology. And a lot of people's not getting into the space because there's no familiar studios that's really using the VR technology. And, PlayStation got their own headset, but they're the worst example of, how to utilize a headset. They're not taking advantage of the technology at all. But I believe if you get people, like, I will play the fuck out of Halo. A Halo VR, you put me in the helmet of Master Chief where I am Master Chief, you give me that same experience. Don't water down the experience. Give me that Halo experience, but in VR. I will play the shit out of that. Give me Metroid Prime VR. Give me that experience where I'm actually in the world. Like I said, like, for those of you who don't own a VR, a lot of people are critics of it, like especially people who don't own it or whatever like that. But a person who owns VR has a lot of potential. Now, VR shouldn't be something to replace traditional gaming. It should be a complement to gaming. And I think the only way for it to catch on is if AAA studios start having VR options for some of their games. So people can be like, you know what, I want to try this game because this game, I'm already anticipating this game, like God of War or Horizon or Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and stuff like that. If these games are already coming out, like, and I'm already looking forward to play this game, why not throw a VR option in there? So now gamers will be more enticed to try that experience, and it will increase replayability. Because not only that you played it the traditional way, now you want to go back inside and replay it again, but with the VR headset. VR is, dude. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed with your VR. And there's a lot of modding too that you can do with it. So you can mod your headset, mod games. There's so many things, create applications for it. There's a lot of potential there, and as I said before, it's like as long as it's not trying to replace traditional gaming, it should only be a complement, something that's a side thing for gaming that complements it and stuff to expand on that, gaming, traditional gaming experience and stuff. And with VR, man, you also have to retrain your brain and when you play these VR games, because when you're playing a traditional video game with a controller and everything, you're only thinking one way. But now that you're playing a VR game, now you're interacting with your entire body. So now you're not playing with a controller, and now you're playing with like these motion type controls, which have more control with your hands and your body and everything. And I always found myself like, man, I'm stuck in this area on whatever game that I'm playing. Then I think about, I said, oh, this is VR. Like, this is like almost like real life. Like, let me see if I can like pull this, or let me see if I can climb on this, or let me see if I can push this. It got real physics and stuff like that, and then it actually worked. And what was so dope about it is you're able to approach situations much differently, in different ways, in the VR environment and whatever like that. You're allowed to try different things. So now you have to retrain your brain to think on a different in a different level when it comes to the entire VR experience. So yeah, it's really dope. Based on the last Xbox showcase, do you think that Xbox will keep making consoles? Another question, good question. He said, wait. Mars said, for the record, I still like your gaming room, Mugen Lord. Oh, thanks, Mars. I appreciate it. But yeah, Jackson says, based on the last showcase, do you think Xbox will keep making consoles? To be truthful with you guys, man, I don't know what's going on as far as that's concerned. Xbox is sending out mixed messaging, as far as like they're saying that they're not going to get away from consoles, but then they're also showing signs that there's a possibility they're getting away from consoles. But you also got to look at the future of gaming, where we're headed. We're going to an all-digital era. There's no avoiding it. And in my personal opinion, I think the next consoles, is just going to be completely diskless. I think that we're going to go to that these next generation consoles, maybe. I'm not saying that this is definitive. I could be wrong. But I'm thinking that these next consoles are going to be diskless. And then at that point, you might as well get a gaming PC. You might as well. And that's what my brother and his homies are doing, because they've been console gamers their whole life. My brother's homies, and now they're also considering just going PC at this point. They're even considering that themselves, because at that point, especially if Sony is putting their first parties over to PC, Microsoft already been doing with their Xbox, and you got Game Pass on PC and stuff. Like you at this point get a gaming PC and and a Nintendo console. At this point, your PC can use an Xbox, a Nintendo controller, and a PlayStation controller at this point. Demonic said, I will quit gaming at this point. Now, my brother said something that was funny. My brother said, with a lot of this woke stuff, not even just the woke stuff, but the pricing of games, the microtransactions and stuff like that. My brother said, yo, if gaming continue to get expensive, he said, fuck it, I'm going to just read books. And that's what my brother been doing. He been collecting a lot of novels. He been reading a lot of he finished Percy Jackson's. He even bought the Assassin's Creed novels. He has like a big volume, and he loved the Assassin's Creed novels and stuff like that. He been just getting into books a lot recently. Then he been buying a lot of like manga or like anime light novels as well. He's been getting into reading books. That became his new hobby, because gaming is like the way gaming is going. He said, fuck it, man. Like, if gaming continue to get expensive, or they gonna continue to nickel and dime us, I'm gonna just start I'm like, fuck game, I'm gonna just read books, He said, did your brother ever look at my brother? We don't look for websites for like games and stuff like that. So I don't even know what abandonware is, and I'm damn sure know that he don't know what abandonware is. Even on Solo said, even on my retro console, I really only play off USB, hard drives, and SD cards. Yeah, it's $120 for Star Wars Outlaws. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, my brother said, yo, I'm gonna just start fucking reading books. He said, fuck gaming at that point. I was just gonna start read books. And my brother just started doing it. He started just reading books and shit like that. And he's been enjoying the reading experience and stuff like that. And said, "What about different gaming consoles who play against each other online?" Now, I think crossplay should be essential. Like crossplay should be a thing for all game releases, because like I think it's very selfish at this point for companies to just stick with not having crossplay where they have their own ecosystem and stuff like that, because not everybody can buy every console. You get what I'm saying? Not everybody can do that. And the fact is that these guys just continue to just release that, they continue to release that in that sense or whatever like that is just stupid. I think crossplay should be essential moving forward. I should be able to play with my friends like no matter what console they pick. And I think that was also the issue that I'm having with certain games. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some games that I do want to play on my Xbox. I want to play my Xbox. Like I really do. Like as far as all the consoles that get the most play, my Nintendo Switch gets the most play. Then it's my PlayStation 5, and then it's my Xbox. And the only time my Xbox gets play is when I get a game for the Xbox. Like when it's a third party game and I buy it for the Xbox. That's the only time I get to play. And then once I beat it, I gotta wait until a game that I want and pray to God that it releases on the Xbox. So that's my problem that I have. But the issue that I have with not having crossplay is that I want to play on Xbox sometime, and I can't play on Xbox if the game is not crossplay, because all my brother and their friends and my friends, everybody got either a PC or either a PlayStation 5 or a Sony console in general. So everybody's over there. So that also means that I can't buy the Xbox version because I want to play with my friends. So I have to get the PlayStation version or get the PC version or whatever in order to play it, because it doesn't have crossplay. I think we need more crossplay, and I think it's selfish of them, of a lot of these studios, to try to keep everybody in one ecosystem or whatever like that. And I think we need more crossplay. I think it's pretty dope that if you got a Nintendo Switch, I can play you with my Xbox or my PlayStation or whatever like that. You get what I'm saying? Or PC. We need more of that, and that means I'll be able to play a lot of games with you guys. He said, "What about PCs?" What's up, Roland Dodge? Force crossplay, and yeah. What are my thoughts on the Lollipop Chainsaw Repop? Good question, Landon. Good question. I don't know. I never played the. I never played Lollipop Chainsaw, but she's. Juliet Starling is a popular character within gaming pop culture. Is because they really branded the fuck out of her. They really marketed her. There was a big marketing campaign. Like, you seen Juliet on buses, you seen her on billboards, especially in Philadelphia and stuff like that. We seen her everywhere. So even though cause I'm not really into Suda, it's so weird. Like Suda 51, like Suda in his studio, they make a lot of weird games. Their humor is kind of weird and stuff like that. So I can't really get into a lot of Suda games. But I respect what Suda does. Like he's like the Quentin Tarantino of game studios and stuff. Like he's just weird, and the way he expresses himself with his games makes things really, really interesting and stuff like that. But it wasn't really my thing. Like a cheerleader walking around with her boyfriend head. It's weird. Like and she got a chainsaw and stuff, and it's just not my thing. She's hot as fuck. But like I said, people always think that, when I say about hot characters that I'm horny, I want to beat my dick to hot characters and stuff, and that's not the case. Like, she can be hot all she wants. If the game doesn't appeal to me, I'm not gonna buy it, or whatever. And that was the thing. Juliet Starling, she's a hot fucking blonde. Like she's a hot character or whatever. But that wasn't enough to make me say, yo, I gotta buy this game. I didn't buy it. I didn't care for it or whatever. But as far as my opinion on it, I mean, kudos to the fans. I think Suda is giving fans what they want. He recently showed off some gameplay on his Twitter, but we ain't gonna get an actual reveal until September, I believe. And he also showed off the costumes. The costumes wasn't censored, but I also said too, Shift Up said the same thing about Stellar Blade or whatever like that, and look what happened. And to me, like I said, I didn't really make a big deal out of the censored costumes because she was still sexy, still beautiful. And she still showed skin. It didn't bother me much, but I understand how people feel, because censorship is censorship. But when it comes to Repop, what he has shown off, which is also interesting, there is a censored version and a non-censored version, which means player has a choice. So every time he was showing new gameplay, and when he's showing a little bit of tidbit of gameplay, he was showing it from the censored version. But you can toggle you can toggle from censored to non-censored. So I think if that, I don't know why developers don't do shit like that. I think that would have saved a lot of stress and headache from Shift Up if they added a censored and non-censored version to Stellar Blade. You know? Also looking forward to Shadows of the Damned remaster. A game artist, Dale Walker, confirmed that they intentionally made black female characters on purpose. We're gonna talk about that is that is fucking funny. I wanted to save that for a video, but I guess we could talk about it here because I comment on it and then he retweeted me trying to debunk what I'm saying or whatever like that. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Because I actually commented on it. I want to make a video about it, actually. And it proved everything that we fucking said. It proved every fucking thing that we said. It literally did. So, yeah, here we go. Del Walker. All right, so Del Walker had made a post. I think this is a good topic to go into. I'm glad you mentioned it. Who mentioned it? Somebody mentioned it. I just wanted to thank you, whoever mentioned it or whatever. Oh yeah, Roland Dodge mentioned it. Now, Del Walker said, "I'm not about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel." See, this is the thing. Like, come on, you gotta. And this is the thing. They don't want to give us anything. They don't want to give people like us anything who's been calling this shit out for the longest and shit like that. They don't want to give us this. But we've been saying this shit. We've been saying this. So Dell goes on to say, "I hate giving Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back looking like grocery store aunties. There is room for both." So this is right here. So it says there's been a handful of times I've pitched black women characters that look like this. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without any speck of the original beauty I pitched. We've been saying this shit. We've been saying this for the longest, but we were called incels, sexist, racist, and in my cases, I'm a black man or whatever like that. I'm a coon and a sellout and shit like that. I've been saying this. We've all been saying this. Look at this. Look at this beautiful black woman. This is a beautiful fucking black woman. Beautiful. And this is the example that he's making. You see this black woman, then you'll turn in a concept like this of a black woman, but then you turn around, this is what the fuck you get in return. They're doing this shit on purpose. We've been saying this shit. They've been doing this on purpose. And the thing is, this is the crazy thing. They doing it to all women. But, and not to pull the race card or anything, they do it worse to black women. They do it worse to black women. And I've been saying this shit. They do it worse to black women. They put black women in the worst light possible. They give the black woman the worst image as possible. They already fuck up all the other women, Asian women and white women and stuff. We call that out. But I've said it in a ton of videos. Every time it comes to black women, they always fuck her up the worst. They make her look masculine, mean, and everything. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I know some black women that look like this. So I'm not going to disregard that. I know some black women that look like this. But why would you if you give them a concept of a beautiful black woman and you take that concept and then you take that black woman and make her look like this? You take her and make her look like this. No one wants this shit. No one wants this. And then everybody keep calling us a conspiracy theorist every time we point this shit out. No, they're doing this shit on purpose. Look at what they done to Mary Jane. Look at what they done to the main character, to the upcoming Star Wars Outlaws. Look at what they've done. And the list goes on and on. They're doing this shit on purpose. So I even shared my video on the side that you see right here. where I posted my video,
make an excuse and say it's
the video
just flat out
blew my
incompetence,
channel
or
up,
maybe
where I
there's a
show how
technology
Eastern
there.
studios, like
But then you have
Kojima
to ask
Studio,
yourself, what about
Death
Japanese
Stranding and
studios
everything,
or
and
Eastern
how
developer studios and how
they
they
were able to
depict
take
their
the
women
exact actor,
in video
the
games?
exact
Because
actor,
perfect example, Hideo
and
Kojima
make them
in
one
his
to
studio,
one
they mostly
with their video
motion
game
capture
counterpart.
technology.
Like if they,
take
so
real
what's the
life
fucking
people
excuse?
and
Like
put
I
them
don't want to
into
hear this shit. What is the lie here? We've been through this before. We've been through it. So like I said, I posted it, and like I said, Del Walker, I gotta find the tweet, but he actually quote tweeted my video, and he's trying to debunk what I'm saying and shit like that. And it's like they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit that what we were saying and what we've been saying for the longest, that we were right about this. But and this is also the thing. They're also trying to separate it, saying that only black women are experiencing that, and that's a fucking lie. Black women aren't the only one that's getting hit with the ugly stick. All women in this whole era right now of wokeness. So they still trying to separate it and only make it like only black women is just getting this deal. When also white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, everybody, every woman in gaming with their designs, they're all getting it. It's just that black women, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm also acknowledging black women just getting the worst. But they're all getting hit with the ugly stick. All of them are. But black women, and I'm like, you gotta understand, like you gotta understand how it frustrates me. I'm like they just get the ugliest. I mean, they just make the black woman look so fucking ugly. They make her look so fucking hideous and shit like that. And these are the people. These are the same people that's saying that they're about diversity, equity, inclusion, and all that other type of bullshit. That they trying to uplift people of color and shit, and they turn around, they do bullshit like this. They do it every time. They do this shit every time. They can take a beautiful black woman that looks like this and then turn her, and then once you turn in a design, they end up making her look like this shit. They do this. But they don't want to admit that. They like the people on the other side, they don't want to give us this. They do not. And you can tell by Del Walker, where he said right here that I hate giving Gamergate men fuel. No, you're telling the honest fucking truth. You're not giving us fuel. We've been saying this. That means there is some truth to what we are saying. Don't deny it. Do not deny it. And then you got so many people damage controlling, because like I said, you go in the comment sections or whatever like that. You look or whatever like that, and you see people damage controlling about the whole thing because they don't want to give it to us. Now, what I do respect about Del Walker, what I just now see, eventually I will make my own game studio and never complain again. But for now, I have Wi-Fi on this flight and will vent relentlessly. That's right, Del Walker. I completely, even though you're on the other side of the culture war that I'm on, and you probably don't think you're participating in it, but you are. But you're on the other side of the spectrum, brother. You on the other side. You get it. And the only way to fight this is create your own studio. Del Walker, get it. Like I said, we can be on the opposite end of the spectrum. And still have some commonality. This is what I've been preaching to a lot of you guys here on this channel. If you don't like what these motherfuckers are doing, change this shit yourself. Take your damn money, put your money where your mouth is, and go to work. And I don't even say money, because there's a lot of free software out there to help you with game development and learn from it. Like I said, you got one female game developer that created that indie game that I covered called iCode. It started just with her. She's been doing it all by herself, and now it's coming to consoles and Steam and everything. She did it herself, so what's your excuse? Del Walker, this brother right here, Del Walker gets the fucking picture. He gets it. Because you can't go to a mega corporation. And this is why I keep telling black people, stop going to these establishments, these studios, and then they're owned by white people too. Stop going to the white man and asking the white man for fucking handouts and expect him to represent you the way you want to be represented. The white man's not going to do that. The establishment is not going to fucking do that for you. So stop. And so that's why it burns me up every time, I see my own people celebrate every time, a studio give us handouts and shit like that, or they race swap and we get happy for that shit. No, no, we need to have our own original shit, but we have to go out and create our own original shit. And Del Walker gets it. He gets it. And like I said before, I give it to this brother. He said the right thing. Eventually, I would make my own studio and never complain again. That's why, for me, I'm not even complaining. I'm just putting the information out there for you guys to know. I'm already doing my own shit. Venus Orion Comics all day. And look at this. Look what Perpetual Vanessa said. We all gotta do it ourselves, man. I'm doing it too. I base my main character's design off a Nigerian woman, and she will maintain that beauty at all costs. Look at that. Look at this beautiful black woman. Fucking beautiful. Beautiful chocolate black woman. Like we need video games with black women that look like this and shit. You get what I'm saying? So, but in order for you to do that, you can't go to the establishment. You can't go to these white-owned... If you're a black person, you can't go to a white-owned corporation and expect them to represent you. That's the thing that boggles me. That the black people in that mindset or whatever like that when it comes to that, and celebrate to with anything that they give us, whatever handouts that they give us. But I'm a coon and sellout when I talk about this shit. This is the thing that frustrates me. I get attacked by my own people on the other side when it comes to this. I've been saying this. I feel vindicated. I feel relieved right now. Because now it's finally a brother that's on the other side of the culture war that I'm on that's saying this. But he won't acknowledge the culture war aspect of it or whatever. And guess what? It takes some time. Like he's getting it. He's waking up. He's about to wake up out of the Matrix. He's about to wake up out of the Matrix. He gets the idea. He gets it. And this is what I want people to do. And that's why I said, he said the right thing. He's no longer going to complain once he starts his own thing. You can't expect these studios to do things for you. And that's why I don't even complain. I just talk about the topics. I bring it to you guys because you guys want me to talk about it as well. But I stopped complaining a long time ago. When I get off this stream, I go right back to what I'm doing. Venus Orion Comics all day. Here, my brand right here. Venus Orion Comic T-shirts. I got my own, I'm doing it. I'm not playing the fucking round. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not playing around. I'm not trying to be the savior of the industry. I just want to go out and create my own. If these studios not going to give me what I want to create it myself. I want to create it for me. And those who want to see the same thing and experience the same thing that I want to experience can all hop on board as well. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the crazy thing about this is the fact is that I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of glad that this is going on. I know you're probably saying, "Oh, why, like, Mugen, what you saying?" You know why I'm glad? Because it forced me to get up off my ass and do something. You gotta understand, when it comes to me, man, I have so many dreams. Dreams are just dreams when they're not brought to physical reality. They're just left in your head. They're dead. They're in your head. They're just dead. So all I do is dream. And there's a lot of people in society right now, all they fucking do is dream. But they manifest none of it. All they do is just keep that shit in their fucking head. And just fantasize what it could possibly be if they was to go out and actually make their dream into a reality. But they never do it. They end up dying. They end up dying, getting put into the grave, and didn't leave no footprint on society or in the world. You know, people are waiting. People are waiting to see what you have to offer. People are waiting, but people would never know if this shit just stay in your fucking head. People would never fucking know. That's why it's up to you. You have to put this shit to work. And that's what I've been doing with Venus Orion Comics. That's all I've been fucking doing. I don't complain about this shit no more. I say, good, keep fucking up the industry. All it's doing is making me do what I do. Go over and create my own shit. That's all it did. It put a flame under my ass. And Del Walker gets it. It made him frustrated enough to say, you know what? I want to do my own fucking thing. Perpetual Vanessa, the same, her as an artist, she's saying the same thing. My people waking the fuck up. They're waking the fuck up. It's about time. I feel so, I feel like so relieved right now. Some of my people are waking the fuck up from this shit. Because it's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. And I've been saying it. And I took a bunch of coon arrows and everything from my people and shit when it comes to this or like that. People thought I was a self-hater and everything. But I've been saying this. I've been saying this for so fucking long. And I feel so vindicated because of this or whatever like that. And I want to see more brothers and sisters get up off their ass and stop asking these establishments or these white-owned establishments to represent us. Stop asking them. Because they're going to represent you how they want to represent you. You don't have no control. You have no control over it. You have no control. So stop asking them to represent you correctly. You have no control over it. And stop trying to force them to hire you so you can be represented correctly. Build your own shit. If they don't want to hire you or they don't want to put you in certain positions and stuff like that, create your own shit. This is what I've been trying to tell my people for the longest. Stop trying to force yourself into shit. Stop trying to make people accept us or accept you. Stop trying to make them do that. You spending too much time trying to be validated and shit by people that you believe hate you. Why you keep doing that? Why? Just create your own shit. Create your own shit, but creating your own shit requires work. It requires a lot of fucking work. And a lot of us don't want to do the hard work. We just want instant gratification. We want the shit to just happen with a snap of a finger and shit like that. And that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen at all. And that's why us and everybody, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. On this side of the culture war, you have to do something. You can't keep bitching and complaining. And that's what's been frustrating me about this whole culture war thing. There's a lot of people on the anti-woke side of the culture war who all they do is bitch and complain, bitch and complain, bitch and complain. But none of them is putting their money where their mouth is. Or none of them are supporting people who's giving them what they're looking for. None of them are doing it. They just want to bitch and complain and shit like that. And that shit is fucking frustrating. It's frustrating as hell. It's like they don't really want solutions. They just want to just talk about problems all day. That's why I unplug from this shit. After I get off this stream, I unplug from this stuff. And the thing is, life is too short to be upset and frustrated. There has to be something that you like. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers that I've been talking to recently. They don't like nothing. There's nothing that they like. There's not one thing that they like. They're just mad. They're just upset about shit. How do you live your life like that? Life is too short. Tomorrow's not promised to you. How can you be like how? And also the problem is, like, we sit in our house, in our homes all day and sit in front of the computer all day, get on social media all day, and consume this shit all day. You can't consume this stuff all day. My advice I tell all you guys right now, my advice to all of you, you gotta unplug from social media every once in a while. You gotta get off this shit. Get out your room. Get out your room. Go outside or whatever. Or what people say, go outside and touch grass. Go outside. Go outside. Get a breather. Be around people physically. I know, and when it comes to the gaming space, mostly gaming consists of a lot of people who are socially awkward, autistic, and all kinds of other stuff. You know, it's a whole spectrum that we do have in the gaming in the gaming community or whatever like that. But you gotta get the fuck out the house. You can't sit in the house all day. And I'm saying this to myself as well. You can't sit in the house all day, because if you sit in the house all day and you get on the internet, this is all you consuming all day. And just like Anita Sarkeesian said in her video, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and it's your job to point that shit out. No, that's not the case. Not everything is racist, not everything is homophobic, not everything is transphobic. If you live your life through that lens, then you're gonna live a miserable fucking life. And it's the same thing with the anti-woke side. You can't live through the lens thinking everything is fucking woke all the time. You can't do that shit. Get the fuck out your house. Do something. Create a new hobby. Get out there. Get a breather. Stay off your phone. You know what I do? When I do my Venus Orion comic stuff, I do like a blackout or a shutdown. I turn my cell phone off. I turn everything the fuck off. Even when it comes to my Discord, I can't talk. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do anything. I want to sit down and grind and work. I want to cook. That's what I want to do. I get a lot of joy waking up every fucking day. All I do is think about my characters. All I do is think about Venus Orion comics. That's all I fucking think about. I eat and sleep this shit. Even when I'm going out to the gym. Even when I'm going out for a walk and stuff like that. Even yesterday, I went to the movies to see the Bad Boys 4 with my brothers. Spent time with them. Even while I'm out in the movie theaters, I'm thinking about Venus Orion comics and shit like that. Like, I'm that invested in what I'm doing, and I'm loving every bit of it, because this is my baby. This is something that I'm creating, and I feel so proud, you know. And you don't, and even back here, everything you see on this wall is by me. I don't have no Capcom shit on my fucking wall. I don't have no anime shit on my fucking wall. It's all my shit. And it gives me inspiration when I wake up. It makes me get up and say, you know what? I gotta continue doing what I'm doing. That's what it does for me. It really inspires me. I don't got anybody's shit on my stuff in my room. It's all my shit. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be able to do the same thing for yourself, man. It feels good that you're able to create and everything on your own. But yeah, man, like this is something, man. This is really something. And like I said, Dale Walker may disagree with me, but brother, I commend you. I commend you for saying what you're saying, that you want to create your own studio. That's the point. Create your own shit. Stop waiting for these companies and these establishments to represent you, because they're going to represent you how they want to represent you and how they see you. I'm gonna go back to this post. This is how this beautiful black woman, and as his example, that she sends a concept like her, and then this is what she get, because this is how they see us. And this is talking to the black folks that may be in my audience. This is how they fucking see us. They claim that they're for diversity. They claim they're for fucking inclusion and stuff. But this is how they see us. They can't see us any other way. They can't. And like I said, there are some black women that actually look like her. I got an aunt, or no, actually a relative that actually look like her, or whatever like that. But this is a video game. This is a fucking video game. No one wants this as a character. No one wants to play as this. No one. No one wants this. No one fucking wants this. And this is how they fucking see us. This is how they fucking view us. This is how they see us. And let me find let me go back, because especially this other one, I can't fucking stand.
It's just flat out incompetence or fantasy wide. You
let me click. I'm gonna fast forward.
The maximum, and especially when it comes to studios, we're in females and making them as
right here, the ugliest depiction of black women I've ever fucking seen. This is how they fucking view us. Like, this is how they view us. These people that's in charge, this is how they see us. This is what they want to see us as black men and black women. This is how they see us. And also, when it comes to especially black men, they make black men effeminate. They making all men effeminate. But when it comes to the black community, black men is only acceptable is if he's effeminate. If he's a feminine man, because black men, we're when it comes to our testosterone, we're hyper. We're hyper masculine. Black men are hyper masculine. They are hyper masculine. Every time you see the stereotype of how they depict black men, he's strong, or he got a bald head, he's muscular. Or when you see a lot of porn, you know, with white women sleeping with black men, they get the strongest, buffest black men. When you look at rap, a lot of our rap is very aggressive. Like, we're very aggressive. Black men are aggressive. So to a lot of people, especially white people too, white people see us very intimidating. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to approach us. They what they see in Hollywood, what they see on television, they think that we're all like that. So the only way for them to accept a black man is to break him down, make him weak, make him gay, do all kinds of stuff to him and stuff like that. And that's the only way that he's fucking acceptable. Because if they put an actual black man that's pumped with testosterone and don't take no shit and don't take no nonsense, they would never hire him, or they would never put him in a position of power, because he will run shit. He will definitely run shit. And the thing is, they don't want shit like that. They don't want a black man who knows what he's talking about, that knows what he's doing. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. So the best way to do it is you make black men gay, you make them effeminate, you make them transgender, you do all kinds of shit to black men. And then black women, you make her look fucking hideous. You make her look masculine looking. You make her undesirable. You make her more argumentative. You do everything. And these are by these corporations. It's these corporations. It's these corporations. So yes, like I know I do have a white audience, but I don't care. It's the fucking truth. Black men we're like when it comes to masculinity, we're always as the stereotype peak masculinity. It comes everything, sports, music, everything. We're like they see us as hyper masculine. They see us as peak masculinity, and that's why when we walk into spaces, a lot of people feel intimidated by us. Even me with the long hair. Every once in a while, I get that when I get around white people. They get intimidated and shit like that when I'm around and shit like that because of my energy, my masculine energy and stuff. I don't take no shit. You're not gonna talk to me in your kind of way, this, that, and the other, and they got to tiptoe around me and stuff like that, you know. So like there is some truth into that shit. So in order for black men, especially black men, to be acceptable, especially in gaming or any other space, you gotta break us down. And like I said, every man is getting infected. But I'm talking about the black experience at right now and what I've been growing up with and what I've been seeing. You know, and this is a side of me that probably a lot of you probably don't hear. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it frustrates me when I got my own people keep calling me a sellout, keep calling me a coon. Like I don't acknowledge some of the things that we go through as black people and stuff like that, or how we represent it. No, I see it. But I don't make that shit like my identity. I don't cry victim. I don't do that. I know what it is. I just know how to navigate through it. I know what it is. I see the shit that does happen to me and my people. I see the shit. But I don't make myself into a victim. I don't make it my whole entire embodiment and my identity and shit. I see it happen. It's like, all right, how do I get around this? How do I navigate this? How do I keep going? And that's why I've been so successful in my life and shit, because I'm not holding myself as a victim when it comes to shit like this. But yes, black men are portrayed that way, and because they find us intimidating, they find us too masculine and shit like that. You know, especially they don't want black women around their white women. They really don't. Because they see what that is and shit like that. So they do anything to break us the fuck down. But yeah, so no one. He said Michael Mix right here. Actually, the of most black men is like Bernie Mac making jokes, work hard, and a family man. Yeah, the courts were trying to feminize men way back then. Yeah, everybody's getting affected by this. Everybody, white, black, and whatever like that. But from the black experience, we get hit the most with it. Because if you believe it or not, think about the Tuskegee Airmen. Every time the government wants to put out a new virus or a new virus or a new STD or whatever like that, they tested on black folks. They tested on us. The Tuskegee experiment. Syphilis, gonorrhea, all that stuff was injected in black people. And then after they do it to us, they do it to the rest of the world. That's why us as black people, we like especially me, we don't trust doctors. We don't trust to go to a lot of places. We don't trust the vaccines. We don't trust shit like that. Because we have a history of being experimented on. So we're like the guinea pig. If the establishment wants to fuck society over, they use us. They use us first. They with the black community. What did they do to the black community? They separated the mother and father. They introduced welfare, all these different type of programs and stuff. They tested on us first to see what it does to us, and then they put it on the rest of society. We're the test dummies. If you look at the black Captain America, not Falcon, the other one, he was the first Captain America, or whatever like that. When they did a comic book about him, what's his name? I can't remember his fucking name. Something Bradley, I think his name. But yeah, when they did the super soldier serum, they didn't want to experiment on a white man first. They experimented on a black man first. So whatever fucked up shit that the super soldier serum had, that black man was gonna get all those effects. He was gonna get fucked up the most because we were test dummies. We were test subjects and shit like that. So whatever kinks or whatever problems that the black man was suffering from that super soldier serum, Steve Rogers, Captain America, got the better version. The white man got the better version of it and shit like that. And like I said, even when it comes to this woke shit, this culture war shit, even when it comes to these designs of these female characters and male characters and stuff, black men and black women, we are the fucking experiments. They use us first before they try it on everybody else. So I understand the plight of my people. I just hate the fact that my people don't understand that and always see me as a sellout and shit like that. No, I understand that. I just don't be a victim. I don't make myself a victim. But I understand this shit does exist. But I just don't make myself a victim. That's the only difference. Isaiah Bradley. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name. Exactly. People took that clock shot. Now mainstream media has to admit that people are getting sick now. Yeah. So I understand. And that's what's going on within gaming. That's what's going on within Hollywood. Like, you can thank us, black folks, that we get tested on first. We get tested on first. They test that shit out on us first. That's what they do. We get experimented on. They test out on us. And the bad part about it is, what makes it bad is my people didn't recover from it. My people are so fucked up and divided and shit like that because these experiments had done a number on us, and we still have. After all these generations, my people are so fucking divided because of these social experiments that was done to us. And the thing is, I'm not even using it as an excuse. This is a fucking fact. These social experiments fucked us up. It really did. It got us fighting back and forth. It got us doing everything to each other. We hurt each other. We do all kinds of crazy shit to each other. And then we inflict it on society as well. And then on top of that, then they come back, the same people that hurt us and experiment on us, now they're telling us that we're victims. So then we fall for that. So now we go around do more destructive stuff. And then we say it's okay for us to do it because we're victims. It's all part of the plan. And we fell right into it. Yeah, man. This is why we haven't recovered yet. And the problem is, the main reason why we don't recover is because anytime a person like me calls the fuckery out that we do, I get attacked for it. People like me get attacked for it. I'm a sellout. I'm all kinds of shit. And the thing is, we do all these mental gymnastics to justify the fuckery that we do. We justify this shit. We come up with all kinds of excuses why we do fuck shit to people or to our own community and our own people. Like recently, man, like my brother's bike got stolen. They stole my brother's electric motorcycle. His electric motorcycle got stolen. He parked in front of his studio, walked in for a few minutes in the studio, and they took his fucking motorcycle. They took it. They stole my fucking dad's car. His Kia that he had. Was like, what, a year and a half ago? Maybe 2 years now? I think it's like a year and a half ago. Or last year. But they took my dad's fucking Kia. Like young teenage black youth. They stole off of a TikTok challenge. They call it the Kia Boys. If you got a Kia, you can take an Apple iPod charger and you got hotwire a Kia. They bust my fucking dad's windows out and stole my dad's car. Not only did they stole it, they drove it down Center City and crashed it in front of a hospital. Destructive as fuck. Destructive. But when I comment on that shit, I'm a fucking sellout. When I call them and I'm gonna be truthful, that's some animal shit. That's fucking animal shit. Because you gotta understand, there's a difference between niggas and black people. Black people don't like niggas. Chris Rock said it perfectly. Black people don't like niggas. And there's a lot of nigga shit going on. And there's more niggas than it is black people. Because black people don't want to deal with that shit. But yes, these animals, because that's what the fuck they are, they took my fucking dad's vehicle, they stole it, busted windows out, drove it down Center City, and crashed the motherfucker. Destroyed my dad's car. And this is the funny part. My dad had the car, the Kia, for what? 7-8 years? The payments were done. My dad paid the car off. The moment he paid the car off, they stole the fucking car. They stole the car. And guess what? Guess what the crazy part about it is? We call the police. The police come, and guess
when
what?
It comes to their male
counterpart,
it's either
right
untouched
now.
or
like because of
when
the
it comes
whole
to
defund the police and shit like that.
It's
we are short staffed. A lot of the police quit and everything because you can't. Because when you lock these motherfuckers up, they let them the fuck back out. So right now, Philadelphia is lawless right now. So the cops came, gave them a report. They found our car crashed and stuff like that. Then guess what happened? Guess what fucking happened? These motherfuckers, after they crashed my dad's car, they had to tow it back to our block. These motherfuckers stole somebody else's car. And then the cops was chasing them, and then they crashed that car into the car into my dad's car that he already crashed. And they did it on purpose. They crashed into my dad's car. They knew exactly where it was at and crashed that car and then ran. like it's fucking it frustrates me. It frustrates me. And the thing is, this the thing that even I find myself saying, if I'm saying this about my own people, the fuckery and the shit that I experience, if I'm thinking this way, these fucking animals and stuff like that, if I'm thinking this way, I can only imagine what white people say and think, and what Asian people fucking think and say. Like Philadelphia is a fucking mess. Like, for instance, our studio, it's hard to do business in my studio, because where my studio's at, the house next to it is nothing but fucking drug dealers. They all hang around our studio. They piss on the wall of our studio. They sell crabs and water ice, the most stereotypical black thing. They sell crabs, water ice. They sell drugs, and it is nothing but fucking traffic. And guess what? We can't do shit about it. We can't do nothing about it. The cops, there's no cops. We're short. There's short cops. So there's nothing we can do about it. So when we have clients, and most of our clients, especially since we have a photography studio, most of our clients are women. Most of the women are afraid, because when the women walk, and we got the women that we bring into our studio is fine as shit. I mean, they bad as fuck. So the moment they walk in, a bunch of black dudes are sitting there, yo, what's up, shorty? Or they try to walk up to them, try to touch them and shit like that. So they're afraid. And then when we have white clients, they're afraid, because when they come to our studio is just niggas everywhere, just fucking everywhere, just everywhere. So that's what frustrates me. And then this is the thing. They get an attitude at us for opening up the shutter doors because it makes noise and stuff. Motherfuckers, y'all standing in front of our business. Why are y'all getting upset at us for trying to conduct business where our business establishment is at? Y'all the ones who's doing illegal shit. And what's so sad about it is, this is a generation of drug dealers. And what's so sad about it is, these young men got a father, because their father's a drug dealer, and he's out there every day with his kids. He got his sons, and his sons are adults, and now his sons got kids. Now the grandsons are out there selling drugs. They're out there selling drugs. That's the frustrating part about it. Now these young men got fathers, but these niggas are drug dealers, and he's raising them to be just like him and shit like that. And that's the fucked up part about it. And none of them got jobs. None of them got jobs. The father don't got a job. The sons don't got a job. And the grandsons are young. They're like teens. And the reason why I mentioned they don't got no jobs is because the house that they living in, he's living in his mother's house. And the problem is, the drug dealers won't go away until the old generation die out. Because these houses where we live at is all owned by black people. And the older generation, which is our grandparents, a lot of the older generation is still alive. So these drug dealers won't move until she dies, until the older generation dies, because they can't keep up with the bills. Who wanna pay the bills? And what these dumb motherfuckers do, especially what a lot of uneducated black people do, when a white man comes or the Asian man comes to our neighborhoods, we sell our property. When we are homeowners, we sell our property, because they come to us and they sell it. The white man will sell it to us at sell the house. Will give us a low price when our house is actually worth more, because niggas ain't educated, or niggas don't do research. Niggas see it as a lot of money. They take the money and then go to Jersey. And what the white man is doing right now, and what Asian people are doing who live out in the suburbs, they're coming back to the city, because Bidenomics and because things are so expensive. Most upper class people, they live out in the suburbs, but they work in the city. So they would live in Jersey and Delaware, and then cross the bridge to come over to Philly and work in Center City. Now things are getting expensive. So the white man is coming back, and now he's leaving the suburbs and taking his family, because my neighborhood is crowded. My neighborhood been gentrified. My neighborhood is crowded, and thing is, we can't park anywhere, is because, see, there's a difference. See, with niggas and with black people, we don't own a bunch of cars. Most of us still walking and riding bikes and stuff like that. I own a car, my dad own a car, my brother own a car, but most of us don't own cars. Now that we got white people living in our neighborhood, everybody got a car. Either the son and the daughter got a car, the wife got a car, everybody got a car. So now our neighborhood is crowded as fuck. I can't even park in front of my house no more on my block. Now I gotta park blocks away. And then, and the city's making money, because the Philadelphia Parking Authority, now they put 2-hour parking spots in our neighborhood, meaning that if you don't have a parking pass, you can only park there for 2 hours, and if you go beyond that, you can get a ticket. So that's to stop people from just parking, like from people that don't belong in the neighborhood to just park there. But at the same time, you have to pay $100 a year for that pass in your own neighborhood because of how congested it is now. You know what I'm saying? So as I was saying before, so what happens is when a white man and the Asian man comes, he comes to you, he gives you a price, and black people are so uneducated and don't do research and stuff. They see it's a lot of money, and what they do is their whole dream is to go to the suburbs. So now what they do is they take the money. Black folks are now going to the suburbs thinking that they made it or whatever like that, while the white man, the Asian man, and them are coming back to the city. And I think I have no issue because my neighborhood, I love my neighborhood has been gentrified. Like I said, I've grown up in a dangerous neighborhood. I've been around with the shootings and stuff, so I have no issue. And the thing is, the only black people that get affected is black people who don't own shit. They're the only people that's getting affected by gentrification. But black folks like my dad, because my dad owns, we own 4 houses, and my dad built this over time. So that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a victim. That's why my dad taught me not to be a victim, because my dad, he did the hard work. My dad owns property and stuff, and he's teaching me, his son, and his other sons how to own property of their own. So when it comes to gentrifying and when black people get pushed out, we don't get affected because we did the right thing. My grandfather taught my dad the right thing, and my dad taught us the right thing. This is why it's important to have a father in your life and have a family structure and shit like that. So we're not affected by this shit. But the black community has so many opportunities to do something with their community, and then the moment white people come in or Asian people come in, then all of a sudden, they're running us out. But we had these communities for a very long time, and we've done nothing with it. And you gotta understand, most of our politicians in Philadelphia are black. So it's not like it's a bunch of white people that's running Philadelphia. Most of our politicians, the school district is mostly black. So it's our own people fucking us over, laundering money, stealing from us and shit like that. So we can't even blame it on white folks and stuff. So we owned the city. Philadelphia at one point was predominantly black at one point, which means we had the city. We had high positions in the office and stuff to make a difference to our community and shit, and we done nothing with it. Now that they're coming in, white folks are coming in, Asian folks are coming in, and they're changing the neighborhood. And for me, it's perfect. Now we actually got a functioning basketball court and every fucking thing. Now the sad part about it is, the sad part about this whole thing is that now that we have white folks living in our neighborhood and everything, the thing is we still have robbery going on. But this is the thing. What's so sad about it is the fuckery that that these thugs and these criminals, these animals are doing in our neighborhood. They won't rob white people because they know not to rob white people. Because you know why? If you even touch a hair on a white person in our neighborhood, the cops, even if we're short staffed, even when we're short staffed, when it comes to police, the cops will be here in a fucking second to whoop your ass if a black person touched a white person in our neighborhood. If you dare rob a white person, steal their dog or anything, the cops will be down here as fast as fucking possible and start whooping some ass. So instead, they won't rob the white people. They'll turn around and they will increase the home invasions and robbing of their own people. He said, time to get a white roommate. Yeah. So that's the thing. That is the fucking thing and shit like that. So now they're increasing robbery within our own community because they won't touch white people. So they'll just step it up even more and just rob from their own. And that's the sad part about it. But every time I talk about this shit, and this is the crazy thing. And look, and this is the bad part about the suburbs. The suburbs is going to be dangerous because a lot of the hood is going to the suburbs. The suburbs is going to get fucked up because now a lot of the suburban people, the middle to upper class people, are now moving into the city. And then, like I said, we have middle class black. That also includes middle class and upper class black folks too. They're moving back into the city and stuff. So now you got nothing but hood niggas and everything, hood mentality, hood culture, and ghetto culture that's going to ruin the suburbs. But it doesn't go. And this is the crazy thing. You're going to start seeing less police in the suburbs, which means now you got the hood mentality left to its own. It's by itself. It's away from society. So all the destruction, all the violence, all the drugs is just free territory at this point. And law enforcement don't even have to get involved. Just let them destroy themselves. And we'll just go over here to the city and shit like that. Yeah. That's the crazy part about all of this, and it frustrates me so much. And when I even dare to even call this shit out, I'm the bad guy. I'm the sellout. I'm the coon. I'm everything that they name in the fucking book. When I call this shit out, and they always make some excuse. Generational, generational scars from slavery, all kinds of other stuff. No, I refuse to be a victim, and I hold myself accountability for all the life choices that I make in my life. Like I said, I was a college dropout. Because I became a dad. I knocked my girlfriend up, who happens to be a white woman. I end up taking, and thing is, like, because I had a dad in my life, my daughter lives with me. I raised my daughter. So I never abandoned my child and stuff like that. I'm not the stereotype that you see all over Twitter. You see a lot of white boys, right now, because posting and making memes about black men, leaving white women and their children and stuff like that, and criticizing that. But I'm not that stereotype. I take care of my fucking child and stuff like that, and I want to make more babies, and I'm gonna take care of every last fucking one of them because my dad never abandoned me. My dad was always there for all of us. So I have an example. I have something to pattern myself after and stuff like that. So it's running rampant in our community and everything. But yes, no one told me to knock my girlfriend up at the time, my baby mom. No one told me to do that. No one told me to do that. You know what I'm saying? No one told me to do that, and I end up dropping out of college at that point, and I end up going back and graduating and getting my 4-year business degree and stuff like that. But I can't blame the white man for that. I just took it upon myself, and I had everything lined up for me. My parents had everything lined up for me. Everything. As far as college is concerned, everything waiting for me by the time I get out. And I fucked it up. Because I wanted to do my own thing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Went out and got my girl knocked up and shit like that. And it was a hard, rough time for me. Because I had to, right then and there, my dad said, yo, today I'm going to make sure that you're a fucking man. You want to make children? You want to make babies out of wedlock? You want to do all this type of stuff? Your ass gonna get up, because I didn't even have to work a job while I was in college. My dad said, no, you want to go get a fucking job. That's what dad's for. My dad like, no, you want to get a fucking job. You want to make babies? You a man? You want to make babies and stuff? You want to go get a fucking job. And if you don't get a job by this amount of time, you got to get the fuck out of my house. And my dad literally said that to me. You got to get the fuck out of my house and stuff. And I started panicking and stuff. I started fucking panicking and everything. So I had to run out. I had to go through all these different interviews. I had to do all kinds of stuff. Or whatever, because my dad was trying to teach me responsibility. Dad was teaching me that, yo, like, I was there, I had to do the things I had to do to take care of my family. Now, son, now you about to make a family of your own, and now it's your turn. You have to have responsibility. You have to be able to be there to be able to take care of your woman and take care of your child that's coming to this earth and stuff like that. So my dad was hard on my ass. It got to the point it was unbearing. Because my dad was really, really disappointed in me because he didn't expect that from me. He didn't expect me to go out and just knock a chick up and stuff like that. Because he thought very highly of me because he put so much in me. But I did what I wanted to do. I couldn't blame the white man for that shit. And thing is, I was in the blue pill type of mentality. Because when I got to college, my white professor, he was frustrated with me because he's like, yo, Mr. Blackson, you got so much talent. You got so much, you got leadership that's in you. You got leadership qualities, but you're so fucking lazy. Like you got so much to offer to your class, and you got so much to offer to society. You don't apply yourself. You're just so nonchalant about things. And then the first thing I did was make an excuse. It's hard being. I told him, I said, well, me being black, me having a lot of stress and stuff. I use that as an excuse. This is before I woke up. I use my color as an excuse. I was hard being a black man and all this other type of stuff. And even my professor even told me, no one told you to knock your girlfriend up. No one told her. What the white man got to do with this? Okay, I started talking about me, knocking up my baby mom and me having to be a father and struggling and all this other type of stuff. He said, you did this. The white man didn't do this. You did this. And the more and more I started thinking about it, I said, yo, like, why am I making excuses? I'm making myself a fucking victim and shit like that. It took my white professor to wake me up to think about that shit. I started thinking about it. I'm like, yo, why am I making excuses? My dad was even disappointed in me and stuff. I made this decision. The white man didn't make me make this decision. The white man didn't make me drop out of college and shit like that. Everything. And that's the thing about black folks or like that. A lot of shit that goes wrong in our life is self-inflicted, that we have done to ourselves. 10% of things that happen in our life is out of our control, but the 90% it's in our control. It's what the decisions that we make, and in what order that we make these decisions and stuff that impacts our life in a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. A lot of us black folks, we do a lot of stuff that is self-inflict on ourselves and cause that pain on ourselves and that suffering on ourselves. And then we blame society, we blame white folks, we blame everybody under the sun. And not one time, and every time you point it out, that, well, you did that. And then they get mad at you, call you a sellout every time you point that shit out. And that's why we're going to always be in this perpetual cycle until we acknowledge that, yo, see, self-inflicted wounds, we can heal that. We can fix that. Generational wounds, it's going to take generations to heal that shit. But self-inflicted wounds, we can actually fix that shit. We can. You know? Yup. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cassie. And even that, Cassie said something that made sense. We ought to stop worrying about who is in office. Just concentrate on doing what we need to do. Perfect example. I'm glad you said that because I was watching these popular Asian YouTubers called the Fong Brothers. They got millions of subscribers. And the one thing that he said about his community of Asians, he was saying that Asians, they keep to themselves. Asian people keep to themselves and they do their own thing. No matter who's in office, Asian people still thrive and succeed because they don't give a damn who's in office because they have their community and they set things up for themselves. Black folks, we don't do that. We have to rely, we rely on politicians to make all the decisions for us. We rely on Hollywood and corporations to validate and represent us and stuff like that instead of just building our own thing and stuff like that. We don't do none of that shit. We don't at all. So yeah, Cassie said the perfect thing about that. Like we need to stop worrying about who's in office and get our shit together. And looking at the Fong Brothers and him explaining that Asian people, they don't give a fuck about who's in office. Asian people got their own thriving community and stuff. They do. Even the Hispanic community got their own thriving community. Everybody got their own thriving community but us. And then we claim that the hood doesn't have money. Yes, the hood does. Look at the Hispanic stores that's in our neighborhoods. Look at the Korean stores that's in our neighborhoods. They make thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars in our community because all we do is patronize and spend monies on those stores. And the sad part about it is these Hispanic stores, most of these Hispanic stores and most of these Asian stores, they don't give back to our communities. They just take our money, they take the money that we give them, and they take it back to their people. And they put it in, and they take the dollars and put it back into their communities. They don't give back to their communities. Give you a perfect example. When we have cookouts in our neighborhoods, not one Puerto Rican store will come out and give us a bag of ice or say, hey, here, take a case of soda. Because when you get back to your community, the people will come back and stuff like that. But they don't have to do that because niggas, they will go in and still patronize the store regardless of how they treat us and stuff like that. Because you also got to understand, you got Hispanic people thinking that they're better than black people. Like if you go into like some Hispanic establishments that you walk into, some of them don't even want to fucking touch a black person. They like when you go to the counter, they will take the change and just drop it in your hand. Don't even want to fucking touch your hand and shit like that. Or when you walk into the store, they would look at you with disgust. They won't smile at you. They won't say nothing to you. A moment a white person walks to the counter, they will smile, wave at them, and all kinds of stuff. And then when you walk to the counter, stone face. But yes, I do have. Is a couple of Hispanic stores that I am cool with that don't do that. But yes, there are plenty of Hispanics who think they're better than black people and treat them like they're lower than them and shit like that. Even when you go to some Asian establishments, they would do the same thing too. Over that, they think that they look at black folks and say, "Yo, they're beneath us," and they would treat you a certain way. Yes, there is some self-infliction that happens because we have niggas that would go into these establishments and steal and stuff like that. But these people also still need to have some discernment and look at people to determine who's like that, which is why I have my favorite Korean stores. Even the Muslim brothers, like that's from the Middle East, they got their own stores, like the Crown Chicken, like the halal Crown Chicken. They fucking love me and my family when we walk in there. Hey, brother, and stuff like that. And they would give me free fries, extra chicken, and all kinds of stuff. And he said, yo, y'all some good people, man. So y'all not like everybody in this neighborhood. He said, y'all good people. And when this neighborhood changes, y'all want to benefit from it. I bless you and your family and stuff like that. So yes, I know we know a lot of Middle Eastern people. We know a lot of Asians and even Hispanics who do treat us well. But yes, other races look down on us. They really do. And you see how they treat us when we walk into a lot of these establishments. But like I said, I'm also acknowledging that some of this stuff is also self-inflicted as well that we have done to ourselves. He said, "Did you hear the Blade remake might be canceled because too many?" Oh yeah. The Blade, like, cancel the Blade remake. Can't cancel it. Cancel that shit. You want to know about the custom website? Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. The custom website, Strike and Kill Tees, my brother website. There's a summer sale going on. There's a summer sale that my brothers are doing at Strike and Kill Tees. I'll bring the website up right now. All right, Strike and Kill Tees. If you guys don't know, my brothers have a t-shirt company. They've been around for what? Maybe 3 years now, maybe 4. But we're getting bigger. We do all our work inside our studio. We got heat press machines and everything. And the thing about this is, you see this? You see me on here? I got a Mega Man Legend hoodie. My brothers, DX Strike and Kill Lancers, especially DX Strike. He's a graphic designer. He has a college degree in graphic design. This is what he does for a living and stuff like that. So all the designs that you see here on this website are all made by my brothers, more specifically Strike. That means you can't go to Amazon, you can't go to eBay or whatever other store that you think you can get these designs. You won't be able to find it. These are personal. These are personal designs made by us. So the only way to be able to get these designs or whatever, you gotta get it from us, and you have to go through the website. And the thing is, my brothers get on it right away. The moment, if you want a custom shirt, or if you make an order, my brothers would, that same day y'all see that, the same day that they see that order come through, they run straight to they go straight to the studio and get right to work and start shipping it out. They don't play around. And if you got a custom, we take customs. We make custom designs as well. So if there's a particular design that you have in mind, you just hit them up in the chat. They will talk to you and everything. Prices are reasonable. We do hoodies. We do mugs. So if you're a content creator and you're trying to get your merchandise out there, we do hats, mugs. We do shirts. We do hoodies, like I said before. We also, for the ladies, we got t-shirts for ladies too, and we also got leggings designs where we have like pictures and designs on leggings and stuff like that. This Venus and Ryan comic t-shirts made by our brothers. You also, I'm gonna put the link down in a second. Give me a second, guys. I got you. I'm gonna hook y'all up. There's a summer sale that my brothers are going to be doing. There's going to be doing this month or whatever like that, or throughout the summer. So you'll better get some discounts on stuff and everything. I'm gonna go to the restream chat for you guys or whatever. Let me go back. I can do it right here. My fault. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in any of that, just hit my brothers up, and them niggas is gonna hook y'all up. They're definitely gonna hook y'all up, and with a lot of the designs and stuff like that. I'm so proud of them. They will be creating my merchandise as well. When I do the campaign for my Venus Alright Comics universe and stuff, and everything. The next thing we're doing now, we're building up to get a printer machine. Not a printer machine, a poster printer. So we can print our posters and stuff like that. Too. So everything will start being done in house. A lot of the stuff will be done in house and everything. What the hell's going on? 1 second. What the hell, man? 1 second, guys. Let me just do it here, because this thing's not it. Oh, here we go. Got it. Okay, I'm doing it from my laptop, and I'll put it in the chat right now. Here's the chat. He said, put it everywhere. He said, I went to your Twitter looking for a link tree. So, no, you're right. You're right. I should put Strike and Kill Tees also in the link of my Twitter. That is a good idea. That is a good idea. I'm gonna do that today. Oh yeah. I seen the Tyler Knox, the facial models to Silent Hill 2. I actually made a video about it. That will be Friday's video. Oh, what's up, Kirby? What's up, Ruined the Internet? Yeah, so, you go to this website and you can check it out for yourself. You can make an order. We also coming out with sets as well. Like the My Hero Academia set that we're going to be dropping. You get the My Hero Academia hat, the shirt as well. Especially the Sonic. Oh, man, that Sonic set that I had. That I wore, man, that shit was fire. Like I love that shit. I had the hat and the fucking shirt that my brothers in the made. They plan on reprinting those, repressing those, and do another run of those or whatever like that. But yeah. So yeah, man, I'm glad you guys that came through on the stream and everything. I had a good time, had a fun time, and everything. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Mars. I really appreciate that. But yeah, show my brothers them some love. Just go there, check it out, bookmark it. If you don't get nothing now, just come back later. It's always gonna be there for you guys and everything. I even sold some of my 3D hentai beauties merchandise, hoodies and stuff like that as well. So like yeah, and we got reviews too. You can check out their reviews. So we got good reviews and stuff like that you get the product. Like you get what you pay for. You get what you see on the site and stuff like that. And they got a YouTube channel. If you go to their page, if you go to their website, they got a YouTube channel. They're gonna start uploading more content. So every time they come out with a new line of clothes, they'll have they'll have a video on it. Because the best thing about it is having a video to you, especially when you're a small business. You need to have a video because when it comes to small and newer businesses, people always think that they're scams because they don't trust it because it's new. They never heard of it. But as long as you got something to show, when you show the product and everything, it makes people more relieved and comfortable. Say, okay, I'm gonna give them a try and stuff. So definitely, definitely check them out. Striking KOTs, both my brothers, company and everything. But that's pretty much. You said, Mugen, can I pick your brain when it comes to writing stories? How do you personally approach the idea? That's a good question, Matt. I don't want to say I have an approach to it. It's like whatever comes to my. It's whatever that comes to my mind. It's like whatever comes to my mind, and I just jot it down. I I have like I use WordPress or I use whatever like Notepad and stuff like that, and I just write down ideas. I write down ideas, and then after I write down the ideas, and then I expand on it. I make like little bullet points, expand on the idea until it fully becomes an actual story or whatever like that. That's how I normally do things and stuff like that. And like I said, most of these ideas I have, man, I've been holding on to these ideas since I was a kid, and now it has evolved into other things over time and stuff like that. So all I'm doing is going off of things that I've always been and then adding new things. And you have to understand also too, man, as a writer, you have to consume a lot of media, because the thing is, you always have an original idea, but not everything is original. Things that you come up with is not always original as well. Some things come from what you saw and what you experienced or whatever like that. So watch a lot of anime. Watch some of the older DC and Marvel cartoons. Watch a lot of movies. Watch a lot of television shows. I'm talking about the older stuff, none of that woke shit. But you get what I'm saying. Watch a lot of these things. You still need a point of reference and stuff like that. That's how you get newer ideas and stuff like that. Because being a writer, man, being a writer, like being a writer is hard at times, especially if you have writer's blocks and stuff like that. I wouldn't say I ran to a writer's block yet. But it's like sometimes you write something and then you're like, okay, how can I make this flow correctly, or how can I make it flow to make sense? Because I really like this idea, but this idea may contradict something I already established or I already established. So you really have to take time and you really have to break things down and stuff like that and really think about it. And also go to somebody you trust. Don't share your stories with everybody, but go to somebody who you can rely on and trust and spit some ideas or give a tidbit of something and see what they think about it and shit like that. But it has to be somebody you trust, because not everybody is your friend, and people who claim they're your friend or your family will be the same ones that stab your back and take your idea and then they run with it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to find somebody you can trust and that you can go to, that you can share some of your thoughts and ideas and see what they think about it and see how they respond to shit like that. Yeah. Creating a story concept is not easy. I had to moment. Yeah. Like for me, like my problem that I have, which makes story creating so fucking long, and it like me, I want to jump straight to it. You know what I'm saying? I can't make a story, right? I can't make a story at the starting point of where the story start. I can't do it. I can't start a story for. I can't write a story for an RPG or a video game or a comic or whatever the story may be. I can't write it at the present time moving forward. I can't do it. I can't figure out because I don't know where I'm going. So my thing is, for me, in order for me to write a story, I have to do backstory. I have to do a whole back. I have to go back in the past. I mean, everything. I have to build from the past first and then get up to present time. And sometimes that takes a long time. Because once I build the past, then the character responds and behave based on their past experience. And then you can draw and create story arcs based on what you created in the past. Now, you don't have to focus too much on the past. You just need to build enough from the past in order for you to create the story that takes place in the present that you're trying to tell the story and stuff. Me, I can't start at the present. I have to go all the way to the fucking past and then work my way up to present. Yeah. What's up, Beard Knight? Yeah. So me, I have to create the past first for my characters. Even when I'm doing a universe or when I'm doing a world, I have to create the politics of like different races in my world. I have to create the religion. I also created how certain races were created, like how they were formed. How did it evolve to that? I go through the whole fucking thing. Like I said, my universe Bible right now. My universe Bible for my comic book universe, dude. It is so detailed. I don't miss a fucking thing. That's why I said it took me 3 years to come up with this. It took me 3 years to work on all this before I actually got into starting the first comic book series of my comic book universe or whatever like that. So yeah, I had to spend a lot of time and stuff. But I can't start in the present. I have to work on the past and work my way to the present. Or I work on enough of the past to give me a rough idea of where I want this character to go and where I want the story to go. Because what happens as the story as the character or the main character or whoever the character may be is going through their journey and stuff like that, I'm able to pull back from the past and recall those things that bites the character in the ass much later, or say, oh shit, this happened because of this happened back here a long time ago and stuff like that. So that's the only way. I can't start at the present. I can't do it. And that's what any story I make. I have to go all the way to the past, and before I can get to the present. Place a custom order. Oh, cool. I wonder if my brothers, cause they downstairs. I'll tell my brothers if they didn't, cause I think they playing Helldivers. I think. Thanks, Android. Thanks, appreciate it. Oh, do I have metahumans? Oh my god. Like you, metahumans. I got more than metahumans. You're gonna understand. Oh, my stories, like my comic book universe, you won't be able to find any of that until I launch it this fall. I just don't have metahumans. I got all kinds of other races and other classifications of people in my universe, and there's going to be a whole breakdown. That's why I said I can't go through any details. But yeah, I have metahumans. Like you gotta understand. Like my universe is not just I have superheroes, and I have some shonen type of things as far as characters are concerned and lore and the genre itself. So I have shonen genre. I have Western comic superhero genres. So I have superheroes. I have shonen type stuff. I have slice of life that I'll be doing as well. I'll be doing all kinds of stuff that's going to be all in this one universe. So there's going to be a lot of everything that would cater to people's taste and stuff like that. Oh, because might be too because I'm probably too far away from what you call. I did listen to a story of a classic anime called Revolutionary Girl, and for that to be realized, I have to be like the creator of Xeno series or Kojima because the past will be complex. I'm like, oh yeah, well I'm about to close the stream pretty soon. I'm making a manga. I'm interested. Yeah. So you said Mugen Lord, I'm making notes for my story in the future. No, you have to make notes. All right. This is my advice. If you're a story writer, this is the advice I'm going to give you, and this is how it works for me. I learned around I think middle school that I'm a visual learner. No amount of typing and writing it sticks with me. I have to see things visually. So what I do is I create a brainstorming flow chart where I have in Photoshop I have this one big piece of paper and I had stickies that I put like and even if it, also my artist draws my characters, so I'm able to put my characters in positions and places on this sticky. So what happens is I have a main idea, and then I branch it. I make a branch line, branch characters. I look, dude. I already have family trees already. Like I said, I have over 100 characters already made. I have 100 characters already made, and still making more characters. I have already have family trees. I have event trees. Like for instance, when I'm like each issue in my comics, I have a tree, a story dialogue or branch or tree for each chapter or each issue, where I want the story to go. I have the pictures of the characters in like portraits and stuff like that. I got notes next to it and stuff. I have to visually see it. So that's how I do most of my work. Yes, I still type documents and stuff. You still need that because I have also have an encyclopedia for definitions and stuff. Right now, what I'm working on the history, like history events, historical events in my universe. I'm making an encyclopedia for historical events as well because I got also something else planned out that I can't wait to share after I do the launch, that I'm going to be able to help build the universe and get y'all involved in and actually know how the world operates and works. But right now, I'm also building a encyclopedia for historical events. You know, I got my own version. My universe is different. World War II happened much differently, or whatever like that, than and stuff like that. So there's a lot of historical events that happens much differently because of technology and other things and stuff like that. So my world don't function like the real world. It doesn't. A lot of different events happen. A lot of different things that's not supposed to happen happens in my universe that gives me the universe that I have right now and stuff like that. So yeah, man. I create flow charts. How I want everything to flow and connect with each other. I have pictures. I have names. I have stickies and stuff like that. And it makes my life so much fucking easier. So much easier. Using it as a reminder of your characters. Yeah, exactly. This is my life too, Movie Lord. I'm doing the same thing as you. Yes. I learned about the branch tree during my time in college. Damn, Photoshop, you a pro. I gotta use poor man's Photoshop Clip Studio. Yeah. So I'm in Photoshop or whatever like that. That does this or whatever. I'm gonna do a quick flash. You won't be able to see it for long. But they give you an example of how fucking serious that I am about this shit. I won't flash it for a little bit of my process or whatever, just to give you an idea, to tell you like I'm not fucking playing or whatever like that when it comes to this. Where is it? All right, let this load up real quick. I guess I could. Yeah. Just to give you a little teaser. Just to give you a little teaser to show you that I'm not fucking playing. Just to give you an idea. I won't keep it up for long because you're not really supposed to see this, and this is all part of my Bible. This is my universe. A breakdown of my universe and how my universe work and everything. A total breakdown, and this stuff's gonna come up in the comics. So it's not like it's you're gonna get into this stuff later on in the comics or whatever like that. But yes. This is like one of my things in the universe and stuff like that. So just to put that up to give you an idea. Oh, they probably playing Helldivers too. And just to give you another idea of classifications, just to give you another idea or whatever. Let me see. I'll show you one more thing. I'm not gonna show any more or whatever like that. I have classifications, just to give you an idea. This is all in my Bible and stuff like that. Just to give you an idea, just to give you a quick idea of all this, or whatever like that. So you'll be able to see what I'm doing behind closed doors, when it comes to establishing my universe. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Like I'm not playing around. Like I got a whole tree. Or whatever like that. A whole fucking tree of how I get my ideas and everything like that. Yeah. So, yeah, man. And this is the thing. I'm going to do it eventually as the comic book series, all my different series come out. I am going to sell a Venus Orion Comics Universe Bible, like in volumes. Venus Orion Comics Bible, Volume 1. So you'll get all this back lore and extra content and stuff like that. You'll be able to officially buy it. It's going to be hardback. It's going to be like kind of like how that Final Fantasy VII Ultimania is. I'm going to have one just like that, but with my universe. So it's going to be like a thick-ass hardback book. It's going to be Volume 1. And then as more issues and more series come out and more lores get introduced and stuff, then eventually it's going to be a Volume 2. So you'll be able to collect them. You'll be able to collect them and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just to give you an idea of how all this shit works and what I do in order to keep me going with all this and stuff. But that essentially wraps everything up. I'm glad that I talked with you guys. And if you are a writer and artist and stuff, man, don't stress out. You know what I'm saying? Use different methods to be able to pull out what's up there in that head of yours, and try creating physical like charts and flow charts to expand in storyboards to see where you want your story to go and stuff. Just check it out. So yeah, man, like I hope you guys enjoyed. I really appreciate this stream that we have done. I was not supposed to go this long. It's about to hit 3 hours. It's supposed to do 2 hours. But, you know, I love you guys. Yo, you guys are family and stuff. Ladies and gents, you know, and everything. So, like, it's like talking to family. Like, I can sit down and talk to you talk to y'all motherfuckers all night and shit. So, I gotta get something to eat. I'm starving right now. And I hope you guys have a good night. And I'll be seeing you game